survivors, welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card. This is a special edition of our stream because not only is it 1 o'clock Pacific time, and we're going to be doing this for 3 solid hours, which is just more than we ever usually sign on for, but we're on the Xbox channels, on Twitch and on Mixer, because we want to get this message out to as many people as possible. The Juggernaut Edition of State of Decay 2 is live. You can get it right now for free. If you already own the game, you can get it right now as a free update. It's also newly available on Steam and on the Epic Store, so there's lots of different ways you can get it. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to have 6 guests today. We're going to be talking to people that, we've been doing a whole series of streams leading up to the release of the Juggernaut Edition. But we've got 6 different guests today. We've got LEAH RIVERA, who's right over there, and you can't see her yet. We've got Kevin PATZELT, our audio director. We've got Susan OLEINIK, our user experience lead. We've got JØRGEN TJERNØ, who is our technical director. We've got Erik Anderson, who's a software engineer, and ERIN Anderson, our lead producer. And we're just going to be barraging you with tons of information and tons of interviews and lots of stuff with State of Decay. Also, over here, oh, you can't even see it. I'll show it to you later. We got prizes to give away. So like every half hour or so, we're going to be giving away a new prize. So there's lots of reasons to stick around. So welcome, and let's introduce some people. So over here, we got LEAH RIVERA and her daughter, Caitlin. Hello. LEAH is a mission creator. She has actually been, she was instrumental in building the new player experience that we have. And then over there next to her, we got Brant Fitzgerald, who has been with State of Decay from the very beginning, and that is his son, Brogan, the namesake of one of our favorite vehicles in the game.
That's right, the Brogan Sport.
This is the Brogan Live Edition, right?
This is the Live Edition.
Cool. Well, we will. Let me. I've got a quick little message here that I'm going to share. So, will you guys, if you guys want to let the kids escape, feel free. But let me quickly point out a few things. So, we're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways. And the giveaways have rules. And we want to make sure that you guys know what the rules are. So, if you want to go to this link, this gives you the rules for all of the giveaways we're going to be doing over the course of this stream. So, that's there in case you wanted to know that. Another thing, folks who bought the original version of the game on PC on the Windows Store, they get the Juggernaut update for free. The Juggernaut Edition, they get the upgrade for free. But there's some extra hoops they have to jump through. There's some shenanigans with the Windows Store. Basically, you have to uninstall the game you've got, get it fresh from the Windows Store.
You have to clear your cache.
And in many cases, they got to clear their cache. And so there are full instructions at stateofdecay.com/upgrade. So if you bought the game at the Windows Store, go here. This is how you get the full, complete Juggernaut version that we've all been waiting for. And with that out of the way, let's actually go and talk to our guests. So that's not where our guests are. Yes, they are. Oh, they're right above me. Look at that.
Yeah.
We're over here.
So Brant has jumped into a new game in the new map. And this is actually, so we've played through the game from the very beginning with the brand new on-ramp, the brand new mission series that LEAH created. We're not showing LEAH's missions right now. We're just we're showing the slimmed down version of the second
I
series.
should.
You're right.
I mean, I could.
Oh, no, we're good. No, we've already shown that on a previous stream.
I fixed up this too, so.
Yeah, that's true, LEAH. So this is something, so LEAH and I both worked on the new on-ramp, but this is all LEAH right here, the new slimmed down version of the sort of, this tutorial skipping starter scenario. So what did you actually do to slim it down?
Well, we wanted to take out some of the more time-consuming things that people had to do during the starter, the second starter is what we call it.
Yeah, so if you've already played the game for the first time and you're starting a second game and you decided to skip the tutorial, you already got kind of a slimmed down version of the starter, but it was still too long. For people who were pros, they didn't want to jump through all the same hoops again and again every time they started a new game, right?
Yeah, so what we did is what I did is I assumed that you already knew what you were doing enough, that you were comfortable skipping the tutorial. So I opened it up for a lot more player choice. So you don't have to follow each of the steps that you used to have to. You used to have to claim the Just to Know house, and you had to go climb the water tower, and you had to do all these things. And now it just opens up the field more, so you can just play how you want to play. And I assume you know these things, and if you don't, go for it.
Play how you want to.
Yeah.
So more of the objectives are optional. There's fewer of them.
Yeah. And I put in a lot of safeguards, so if you decide to go claim the truck stop instead of the house, you can, that kind of thing.
So when we first realized we were going to do the Juggernaut Edition, and that one of our
That zombie just knocked me over. You're not supposed to do that. Pay the price.
So when we first started the Juggernaut Edition and we realized we were going to be doing a brand new on-ramp for new players to get into the game, one of the first things that happened was you dragged some people into a room and just filled a whiteboard with ideas, right? So how did we approach this? How did we approach the question of how we're going to teach people the game from scratch?
Well, we decided we wanted to teach people the game from scratch, first off. And then what we did is we just walked through all of the important systems that the game needed you to know from the beginning. And to walk you through things that we weren't teaching before, like character swapping. And
yeah, exactly. Or vehicles, right? We've never
vehicles.
done a tutorial for vehicles before.
Yeah, how to repair your vehicles. And actually giving rucksacks to followers, that kind of stuff that we added after launch that we hadn't been teaching, of course, because we didn't have it.
Yeah, because that was the thing we did with the original State of Decay too, where it's the original State of Decay also, where we added the ability to stick rucksacks in the back of trucks very late in the game. It was a year after release, and that was never made part of the original tutorial. And there were several things like that here too, where it's there was stuff like you said, switching, handing a rucksack to your friend.
Yes.
Where we need to teach it.
And things like leaders are important. I mean,
so that was another thing. So our new on-ramp is the new missions that come after the tutorial now. They're really focused on each of the individual leader types, but they also had to teach the player a lot of just basic mechanical stuff. And so we had to kind of figure out how to match those things up, right?
Yes, exactly. So, and also we wanted to make sure you understood the flow of the game a little bit better, because the original starter scenario led you through a more linear quest line, which is not something that the rest of the game does. So we wanted to introduce you to that much earlier. So now in your second mission, you're already choosing which priority do I want to take on, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. The original tutorial, the original first series of missions was just one thing after another, saying do this, do this, do this. And I think a lot of players got the impression that what they're supposed to do is just follow whatever it says in the upper right-hand corner of the screen and just keep doing that. And a lot of them weren't really realizing how much sort of command they need to take of their situation, right?
Exactly. So easing them into that mindset of no, you're going to have to make choices, and you're going to have multiple missions that are vying for your attention, and you need to play how you want to progress your community instead of what we're telling you to do. And also, I matched this person's sweatshirt, so I'm taking this off. Super minor, but it's bugging me.
Just a note, I started this with a couple legacies to totally cheat.
That sounds great.
Just so people watching, starting up, that may not see the inventory that I got, finish some legacies, or if you've already done it, you'll have access to those legacies if you skip the tutorial.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
Very cool.
I'm not a dirty cheater. I am, but not right now.
So even the most simple seeming parts of missions are often really, really complicated on the back end.
Yes.
For instance, I remember that at one point you were we need to teach players how to take advantage of a follower, right? And so the problem was not everyone is going to want to bring a follower. Someone could get all their people in their community killed, and so you couldn't get a follower that way. So you never could really predict what a player was going to do. So you had to work all these different conditionals into the missions, right?
Yep. And a lot of that is just sitting down and thinking okay, what could all the player states be right now? And how can I handle them? And then lovely QA team, which I love them so much, thank you, is that, they also point out a lot of them to me. They're like, hey, if everyone dies here, it kind of breaks everything. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Nice to know.
I'll fix that. Yeah. And the follower one, too, it's we found out little edge cases that we hadn't handled before, of course. So we'd have to request programming support for things like equipping rucksacks, because all of our objectives to equip rucksacks did not understand followers at all.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we originally we set up all of the things in the mission that detects when you pick up a rucksack, assumed you're getting it from a container or from a vehicle or from off the ground. But none of them realized you could have gotten it by being handing it to your follower and then taking it back, because that was a brand new feature, right? None of our missions knew how to handle that.
No. Yeah, so it's a lot of finding those little tiny edge cases and being well, I'm either going to get this or not, and hopefully I'll get it. But if not, I have a contingency. So there's also like all the contingencies you had to build in case we didn't get the support that we needed at the time because of other priorities. Right.
Yeah, so each of you is probably going to go through, one particular path through these missions. But Leah had to imagine the 50,000 alternate
possible
universes
combination.
where you did different things. So, real quick, let me grab something. So we're about ready to do our first giveaway of the day. So let me pop this up. So we are giving away this, what was it called? Armed Forces Xbox One controller. So this is going to go to somebody in our Mixer chat. And I should point out, because of various rules and things, we can only do our giveaway for our people who are in our chat on Mixer. And so if you are not on Mixer, if you're following us on Twitch right now, you can head over to mixer.com/Xbox if you want to participate in the giveaway. But basically the way it works is you type !fraffle. I'm not sure why it's fraffle instead of raffle, but whatever, that's how the bot works. Type that into the chat when prompted by the folks who are moderating, and you'll get a chance to get one of these. I think we can only ship these to folks in the US, so bear that in mind. There's all kinds of rules that you can check out at that link that I originally shared.
And they won't have much time after you announce it, right?
That's true. We only got about like 90 seconds or something for you to enter this. So enter it quick. And just wanted to make sure you all knew. You only got a little bit of time. So anyway, with that aside, we'll in the next little while, we'll announce a winner. But we've also got Leah here still. So, Leah.
Yes.
We recently released the patch notes for Update 15, which is the Juggernaut Edition.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure about a quarter of those patch notes are down to you.
So like the whole bug section.
There's this whole bug section at the end where it's just like every single thing.
It's very exciting reading.
No, it is.
I'm not kidding. For fans of the game, it's actually really exciting to read what we were able to get to.
We tried to make some of them funny enough to read.
Yeah. Leah does write very readable patch notes, which is really nice. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, it starts under mission fixes, and just like 95% of the things under that heading were just basically Leah having extra time between things while she's waiting for programming support, or when she's done with the missions and she's waiting for QA to get back to us with the bugs. Just tons and tons of stuff.
Found all the bugs.
Every single one.
I could. I started scouring other designers' queues and the backlog and anything that said mission in it. And I was just like, I'm going to get all the bugs.
Yeah, so like a lot of it looks like a lot of the fixes are specifically to like the legacy related missions, the missions that sort of lead up to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Or that teach you about the different leader types.
Yeah, they were the most complicated missions that we built, so it was understandable that there was a lot of bugs at launch for them, and like some of those persisted. So I was like, all right, time to clear it out, and it just went through and tried and find all the bugs I could, fix all the bugs I could.
Yeah, so we've got things like Warlord the Informant, that mission. The bad guy shouldn't fight you until you're ready to rock.
Yes.
Which I don't know what ready to rock
Right?
means because I've forgotten that mission, but I'm sure that it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm sure it does too.
Or the thing about Anthony, your community member friend should now trust you enough to get into cards with you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The thing that I love about that is that it assumes that it wasn't a bug in the scripting, it was just that guy
Yeah, that guy
had trust issues.
Yeah, because we have two ways to make someone follow you around, and one of them they will not get into cars with you, and the other one they will. So they had baggage, and I had to make
Does it
them all
depend
the
on
same.
how good of a driver you are? Because no one will ride with me.
No, maybe.
You know what I just realized? Well, actually, I gotta talk to Megan about that. Never mind. So, I'm gonna disappear for just 1 second.
Cool.
But you guys keep talking about what you're looking at here. So
Through the magic of television.
We will drive this sweet yellow pickup
Oh no!
into.
That is the
Clothesline?
the clothesline of Gibraltar.
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm gonna use the the stuck command, which is very important to know.
Yes. Did you plan this, Brant?
Maybe.
yeah, we should actually mention, by the way, for any brand new players who are joining us for the first
He
time.
brings your doors with you. I mean, that's.
I love how my
considerate.
doors just magically showed up. It's like, in case you forgot these, here's your doors.
So that thing, it was It was very important to point that out because we got a lot of new players who are going to be joining the game for the very first time who get to see that we've got things like the stuck command. And so anyone who's brand new to the game should go to our player guide. It's at stateofdecay.com/player guide. Joe Swarner spent a lot of time putting together all the best like tips and tricks and stuff that he's picked up as a player of the game, and also listening to the confusion that some people go through when they're first trying to learn the game.
It is a really good guide.
Yeah, go even if you're a veteran of the game, there might be stuff in there you don't know. So go ahead and check it out.
What you finding?
Probably some. Well, I wanted to find some materials, but no
I'm
luck.
Sure they'll be somewhere.
No luck.
Yeah.
I don't need the water barrel because. Oh no, I needed that. I don't need that because I just wrecked my car, so I need to go back in and fix that. Oh, I can take those. I'm looking for a rucksack of materials so I can start working on the base. And
So did you actually climb a scouting space? to
I
find
did.
this
I
out?
climbed the one at the
Oh.
base. That's the first time we've
there
ever
you
had
go.
one inside your base. And
Yeah.
believe me, that gave these people headaches because we didn't really know how to set it up. So
good.
but
Hey.
Yeah.
thankfully, Leah is so nice that she's like, hi, can we talk about, instead of, what did you do? You broke our game. It's like, hi, can we talk about, you're such a problem solver instead of a problem maker. I, on the other hand, am like terrible at diplomacy, but that's why.
So real quick, sorry. One thing that I forgot during the giveaway, we were actually giving away 2 different prizes. We had that controller. We also have a Game Pass membership. So there's going to be an additional giveaway going on. So again, !Fraffle whenever you're ready to go. And this is going to be another prize. So every half hour, we're going to be giving away something of this caliber, maybe even better. And then also a secondary prize, which is a Game Pass membership. So just wanted everybody to know that. So I think that's going to be going on our Mixer channel again. So, check out the rules. And we're back to the game.
Nice rules.
Yes, super
I
rules.
found, for those of you who haven't played before, I found a repair kit.
Oh, this
And
is very important.
I am going to go to the front of the truck and repair this thing that I just horribly abused. And you'll be amazed at how well I can buff out the dents in this. Look at that.
It's just that
Look
little toolbox.
at that.
So good.
I am amazing. And every player is able to do that. So
Yeah.
use those repair kits. I need to take like 6 of them with me whenever I leave.
Definitely. So everyone in the chat needs to pay attention to the fact that Fraffle is spelled F-R-A-F-F-L-E. L-E. That's very, very important. It will not count. Also, it won't count unless you actually see the bot announce the beginning of the contest or the beginning of the giveaway. So that's really important too, because if you enter this when I've said it, but when the bot hasn't said it in the chat, not going to be entered.
I'm going to fast search because I'm a crazy
You
person.
live on the edge.
I do.
I always fast search.
I live on
It's
the
best.
edge. I don't fast search in Nightmare or Dread
No.
because I don't play Nightmare or Dread.
No, I'm not that good at this.
I am using one of the new heavy weapons. Oh, and good thing because I've got multiple zombies here. Squish.
Yes.
Bonk. Oh, you made a mistake. Oh, you made a mistake, didn't you? Oh, welcome to my new home.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Bomber jacket. I'm
Ooh.
switching straight to that.
Yeah, one of the updates I did with this new starter too is that you don't have to climb that cell tower anymore. You can climb anything to scout if you want
Oh,
to.
that's right. You
Yeah.
you recommend that there's a nearby one that you could use, but you don't have to climb that one. It
No,
could be anyone.
No, you can do none or any or whatever you want to do.
But you didn't have to
Oh, I
manually list every single
picked the wrong
eligible
person.
site, did you? Or did you just say a certain type of site?
I don't think I did.
Or maybe you just the surveying action or something. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
I'm not going to quiz you on what the scripting looked like when
What
you
did
did
I
that months
do
ago.
months ago in this one mission?
I'm just like, whenever I hear something, I'm like, oh man, that might have been really tedious. Like my heart immediately goes out to whoever had to script it.
No, sometimes it does get that way. Like I have done many mission passes that cover like every mission in the game. Just thinking, okay, I need to update this one item on every single mission.
And just
happens.
as a side note, those of you who are usual members of our streams, we can't see chat right now, so we can't answer direct questions. Those questions might get fed to us through our internal chat, but because we're streaming straight to the Xbox channel, we're not able to see our usual chat as well. So we're not ignoring you.
Yeah, exactly. We've honestly got we got so many different things going on between the giveaways and the guests and the showing the new game. We might not really have much time to get to all the questions anyway, even if we did it, because I've got to hold so much stuff in my head right now to try to remember what we're supposed to do. So
just know that we love and appreciate you.
We definitely do. Yeah, and also, if any of you want to, get in contact with us after the stream is done. I mean, we're both Brant and I are on Twitter, but also our Discord, the Undead Labs Discord. If you go track that down, that's a really good place. I realize I don't have a link for it here, but it is when this video shows up on YouTube later on. There will be a link down below to our Discord, and we'd love for anyone to join us there and become a part of our community.
We have a great community. Great community, very supportive, and helpful and nice, and
I definitely appreciate you all. It's refreshing to have such a nice community. I've worked in places with not a nice community, and this one is wonderful.
And thanks to everyone who started out this morning streaming. We appreciate the support.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
We also did a lot of work on this tiny base too. Have you guys talked about that one?
Oh, we've talked about it a little bit, but feel free to give us some more of the rundown here, because
just in general, we wanted to be a little bit more simple of a layout, so you didn't have to go upstairs and downstairs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just enough space that you could explore a little bit, but not get overwhelmed by options.
Yeah, even as a long-term player, that split-level house still gives me headaches. Just trying to get around, go up those twisting staircases and stuff like that. Starting the game in a place like this, where it's just all of your facilities are just right out in front of you. It's really convenient.
This is cool, but we don't force you to go up in it, right?
Yes.
Except to go survey. You're not required to run up there to talk to people or anything like that.
Yeah.
Though
there was some
funny story.
Yes.
Originally, I had. You know how you see these people standing around trying to either standing there doing nothing but looking pensive, or actually, sitting down and working?
Yeah.
I actually put some of those points up in the bedroom up there, except it's so high that they'd forget halfway up. And so they were running up and down the stairs constantly,
Yes.
Sort of like me in the morning.
So we took all those out.
Yeah, we took those out. They won't do it anymore, but that was funny.
Yeah, one of the changes that we did in this one too is doing more player-initiated missions, which we hadn't done before, which was super fun. I'm not sure if they are hooked up to Starter Second, but if you do the tutorial, approaching the car and walking up the water tower, it will give you missions that are for those things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's not like you just suddenly at a certain time in the tutorial are told, now it's time to repair your car.
Yeah.
Instead, when you find the car, then we tutorialize it.
Yes, because we wanted to really put that, how are you going to play this? Because this is how you're going to survive the apocalypse, right?
That's
telling you now is the time for the car was less approachable than just saying, oh, you have found the car. You wanted to go to the car.
Oh, hello, Martin.
Why don't we deal with this now?
Oh, he wants plague samples. Why? I don't know. That's gross, but...
He just likes gross stuff, Brant.
What is that weapon you're using, Brant?
I found I found a heavy weapon, which is new.
Is it the Drive Shaft Club?
Yes, to State of Decay, Juggernaut Edition, new stuff.
That is
a whole new weapon fighting style.
We're actually going to watch a video about those weapons in just a second as we introduce Kevin, who is our audio director. He's actually waiting in the green room right now.
The green room.
Ready to go. Yes. he's
all the way in the green
audio
room.
booth. Yeah. So, he's waiting his turn there. But his team did a lot of work to make these heavy weapons not just look heavy, but sound heavy. And really, it gives you a sense of the heft. It's some good stuff.
I love the sounds in these.
So we're ready to announce the winner of the first giveaway. So Datitude is going to get this Xbox controller. So congratulations, Datitude. We're still confirming the other winner right now of the Game Pass subscription. But congratulations from everybody to Datitude. Thank you for being for your interest in our game, for playing our game, and we're glad to have you. We're glad to have all of you.
Thank you for being a friend.
We're thankful we can give back to at least on a small scale to a few of you.
Absolutely.
I'm just making noise,
Just doing stuff, making
Yep.
noise.
being cool.
One other fun thing was safeguarding, making things outposts that we needed for missions.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like it was so like testers kept finding ways
Yes!
they can make things outposts and ruin entire missions.
I know, they're wonderful. I love them.
It's funny. I was going through some last minute fixes, and I started seeing all these sites that weren't outpostable anymore, and I was like, I better fix these. But then I was like, wait,
No.
because I almost broke the entire game all over again by undoing all of your hard work.
A lot of them we just put backups on too, though, like the initial gas station that you go to for the sheriff mission. I had to just make a backup infestation site because I'm like, I don't want to take your gas station from you if you really wanted that as your outpost.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, right?
Yeah, I
So
can work around this.
There's so many ways. Yeah, it's like I really one thing I really appreciate is your attitude. Like because I mean it means more work for you a lot of the time.
Ugh.
But like sort of leaning into that idea of
Yeah.
our players getting to decide how they want to approach their problems is
Yes.
so much better than like us saying, well, let's take away as many of your options as possible so
Yeah.
you see the beautiful thing that I imagined.
No, yes. I want to open it up so it's your beautiful thing that you imagine.
This is the worst kind of roommate that I'm dealing with right now.
Oh, yeah. They
Oh.
don't look very nice.
That was such an effective throw.
Did it work? Oh, yeah.
it's right
with the
there.
layer.
It's
Got
great.
it. I know.
Well done.
Well, at least you didn't throw it like I do and have it bounce back
Well,
at me all the
I'm
time.
gonna do the smart thing and
Where's-
actually
where's
exit
the
and
bombs?
before I throw my grenades in there.
What? See, I would have blown myself up on the portrait there. That's how I roll with
And then, to be safe, I'm just gonna. That's
Yes.
what I wanted to see.
And then you get the sweet loots.
Oh, except I jumped into the gas cloud, the last part of the gas cloud. But
8-pack.
I know, but I had one.
Oh, well, you can give it to
Now I
me
have
else.
another.
Collect
I
all
better
the
take that
8-slot
shotgun
backpacks,
now.
because I have to carry everything all the time. This is how I play. Collect everything.
Collect all the things.
Yes.
All right, I don't. If I have enough influence, I'm gonna outpost this.
Nice.
Oh, guess what? We just found out that it is Datitude's birthday today. And so Datitude just got a birthday gift from the lab.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday, Datitude.
Happy Friday the 13th birthday.
The random number generator wishes
Seriously.
you a special
Yes.
happy birthday.
Exactly. Scottybot wishes you a happy birthday.
Oh, I can't do it yet. Darn. All right, I'm gonna have to shuttle.
Gotta do more stuff.
I gotta run back and
Kill more
forth.
zombies. Do more missions.
I want to
Get more
play this
influence.
as a pacifist. I want to live side by side with the zombies.
Then you can just trade for all your influence.
But I want to trade with the zombies.
I don't think they're up for that.
Well, that doesn't make me very happy.
Oh man.
I want a negotiate button. Can we do that?
Have to have brains to trade brains.
Oh, nice. Actually, that's how you take care of unfriendly enclaves. You just take their brains to the zombies.
Gosh.
So
That's not confirmed.
we are re-raffling right now in the chat. So if anybody now remember, you got to be on Mixer and you got to be in the U.S. in order to win these prizes. But definitely go and hit !FRaffle if you're in the chat because we want to give away this Game Pass membership. We lost our first the first person who might have won. We lost track of him. We couldn't find him, so we got to give it to somebody else.
Not Daddykins or whoever it was.
And it wasn't Datitude. No, this
Okay.
is just the Game Pass membership.
Sorry,
But
Datitude.
One thing, after you type ffraffle, that is a responsibility. You need to stick around for at least another couple of minutes to actually receive your
It's
prize.
90 seconds that you have to wait.
It's forever. In some
So
days.
it is 1:30. We're about ready to switch. So everybody, say goodbye to Leah and say
Bye,
thank
everybody.
you to Leah.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks
and
for
playing.
thanks for your huge part that you played in making this awesome.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, no, you don't have to take off right this
Don't
second.
have to? Okay.
Because I'm about to show one of our dev diaries while we switch guests. So
Oh.
let's show this.
We love adding new guns and things, but that doesn't change the paradigm, all right? This is going to be a game changer on how people approach different zombie situations.
You just see things in the garage, things in a hardware store, and then you see movies, and you have a bunch of ideas in your head. So when I was cleaning up my grandpa's garage, I found this giant thing. I didn't know what it was. Big stick, big cleaver blade on the end. So I just looked up cleaver with big handle. Hog splitter was the thing that it turned out to be.
We've learned a lot of things over the past year and a half or so about where we can optimize and where we can buy back some memory. And that includes not just making the weapons, but also a new fighting style, a lot of new animations, new reactions from the zombies, which is really cool. And it just feels so badass.
For instance, came up with a big shovel. And my first thought was like audio is going to have a field day with this big shovel and the bong it's going to hit when you're smacking people. So that was, like, you got to put that in there.
As a sound designer, that's a big part of the job, is to help sell an emotional moment. Something can feel more dangerous and more impactful or even more heavy than something else. We went down to Warner Brothers Foley Studio in Burbank and directed the Foley artists to just bang on all the cool props that they had down there, and they will have a pile of things that are stacked up and then start hitting different places on that pile. We can then make something that was already pretty impactful sound even bigger and be more impactful.
I'll go to the Discord a lot and, check ideas, and people put the most insane stuff on there, and I'm like, that is perfect. I want to do that next. And we always try to fill holes. Like, we've got a bladed weapon, now we need a blunt weapon. Now this one is a little light, this one's a little heavy. And so we try to find things that we haven't done before and put something in that spot.
It's actually really exciting to think about how players in multiplayer are going to do this, because you can actually set up groups to have your crusher go in and then have other people come up and clean up behind them. It's going to be fun to watch people explore the possibilities and how they can approach different tactical situations with the zombie. They're all a lot of fun, they feel great, and it's such a different style that each one is just going to have great value. So.
Kill him. So, wait a minute. There we are. Oh, hi! Look, there's a different person instead of Leah. I should actually find where I've got his name up. This is Kevin PATZELT. He is our audio director and composer. He actually, he wrote or arranged a lot of our music, collaborating with Jesper Kid. Mm-hmm. And he also leads a team of top-notch audio designers that Brant cannot shut up about how great they are.
I think
But
they
not
should,
me, though.
I think the audio team, under whatever director they have, should be winning awards. Though I'm glad they haven't, because then the director would take all the credit, and I don't.
Well, that's my job, though. Right?
Kevin's one of my best friends. I like to give him a lot of crap.
Known each other for too long.
Too long, and gifted, really.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Explain the Dreisk to people who don't know.
Oh yeah, your name, Dreisk.
Yeah, so I have been writing music for about 10 plus years, and I actually have, that's kind of, what is it in music, a pen name or something? I'm not
yeah.
quite sure what
Nom de plume.
Yeah, there we go. And so, luckily, starting with State of Decay 1, I was able to write new music and fill in the gaps with spare time, and it just kept going for State of Decay 2, and then Heartland, and then Juggernaut. So Jesper Kid writes the majority of our music and comes up with all the melodies and themes, and I tend to fill in all the spots that are a lot more textural and darker, a lot of the ambient drones and things like that. And I'm starting to prototype stuff for things moving forward, which will be really cool.
So we just watched a video about the heavy weapons,
Yeah.
and Jordan mentioned you guys actually put a lot of kind of unusual effort into sort of into getting the right set of sound stuff. How did you guys approach that problem?
So I think with State of Decay 2, the base game, we were prototyping on our own, and it just comes down to Foley and props and having all the different types of things you need, hit, hammer, tooth thing. And what's funny is a lot of times the sound you hear has nothing to do with the actual sound. Like, clearly we're not finding zombies and smashing them up. But we found that going to professional Foley artists that work on other TV shows and films have warehouses full of things, and these people are really skilled and gifted and know what they're doing. So we will describe, oh hey, we want a ball peen hammer hit against this, that, or the other thing, and they'll just disappear, come back with a ton of stuff, and just start whacking at it. And so a lot of the sound effects come from that. And then we did a lot of the gore and the goop and the stuff in-house. Microsoft also helped us out with a bit of that. And all these pieces combined, so there's cloth bits, and even when you hit, there's like body sounds, the sound of the weapon itself.
Miss.
Let's see what Brant has right now. What have you got?
Oh, I've just got a cleaver.
So in this case, go ahead and hack up a few zombies.
Well, that's not going to be a problem because they're right here. Hello. Come on in. Oh, hey now.
Well, that's a good example because for all the armoreds, we have different sounds, whether they have the helmet on or not, whether they have armor on or not.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot more slice, a lot less splash when you're hitting him and he's still got the helmet.
I think for that one, Jordan, our senior sound designer, actually went to, a used, sports shop and got like a hockey gear or something, or like a riot suit. So and then he was just beating the heck out of it, to get all the different sounds. But what's interesting about even this little hatchet is it's made up of lots of different components. So you'll have like a stab element, a slicing element, the gore elements, the impact elements, and all those things combine to make a single sound. And what's really cool is each one of those sounds has a ton of different variations, so you're never ever hearing the same sound twice.
Okay, so it's not like, so you didn't just sort of make a cleaver hitting zombie sound.
Right.
You made a lot of cleaver hitting zombie sounds that are all layered together, and they're all varying independently from each other?
That is correct, yeah.
I had no idea it was that complicated.
So we're doing, let's just say each one has 6. For each layer, that'll vary in pitch, vary in volume, vary whether you can hear gore or not. The other thing we do that's really cool with this is we track how many times you've hit a particular zombie. So with a sword especially, sounds will get grosser and gorier, and then you'll have a chance to hear more of a shing the more times you wail away at a zombie.
Wow.
So, we put a lot of thought into trying to keep combat interesting, given how much you hack and slash.
Oh, there it is.
But yeah, combat's a big system we've got, and especially for Juggernaut, all those heavy weapons, we did a specific session down in Warner Brothers to get a lot of that.
Because you already had these huge libraries of sounds that you put together for the other weapon types, and you basically had to. Wasn't just a tiny little tweak. This was an entire new system of all those sounds again. Right?
Yeah, it was a completely different approach where since it's when you attack at a zombie, you're going to hit it. This is about hitting a bunch of zombies, so we needed to actually use a window to know when we would hear a heavy sound versus a lighter, weaker sound, and then tried to tie that with gameplay. That if you do less damage, you'll hear less sound.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can really kind of gauge what's going on in the game, not just by watching the zombies, but by listening to them.
Yeah, for sure.
So we should announce, by the way, that that previous giveaway we just did for the Game Pass membership, it went to SPK Gandhi. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we're about ready to do another one. So let me just show you what we've got for this. Doing a bunch of Foley over here.
You're
Okay. So this is an Xbox headset. This is I actually have this same thing at home. I got one of these for Christmas. It's really nice because I can basically play without. I've got a weird setup at home. My Xbox is connected through my capture card to my PC, and it's very complicated. And it's nice for me to be able to get the audio straight out of the Xbox from my controller. Probably not the quality of audio that Kevin would want because it's trying to pass through your Bluetooth or something like that.
I'll
but
say it's really convenient. It's so convenient.
It's super convenient.
Can I win that?
No, unfortunately. So I use this all the time, and I love it. And so I feel scared, like holding up a headset in front of an audio guy. You're gonna look at me like what kind of yeah, exactly. What kind of Philistine are you holding up some random headset? But no, these are really good headsets and they're very convenient. So anyway, we're gonna be giving one of those away, and let me just real quick remind everybody of how that works. So how it works is you've got to be on our Mixer channel. because that's the only place where we can actually sort of do these automated things. So definitely make sure you're on Mixer if you want to enter. The other thing is you got to be in the U.S. because there's rules. There's rules. You can go check out the rules if you want to, but there's rules that mean we can only give it to you if you're in the U.S. So if you're in the U.S., you're the ones who should enter. And what you should enter in the chat when you're prompted to by the bot is FRAFFLE, !FRAFFLE, or FRAFFLE, as I like to say. Anyway, that's what you got to do. So get to it, and we will get back to the game and to Kevin Patzel. So,
I'm just trying to find some blood plague zombies so I can actually save my community member who is sick.
Oh, okay. You actually got somebody full on infected.
I think so.
And actually, there was a lot of extra audio work that went into making the blood plague. The blood plague has got a very distinctive sound to it.
Oh, actually, I don't. I don't have to.
I would say for Juggernaut Edition, we did a lot of work to the soundscape at large. It was our chance to really put in some polish. We've replaced a lot of content that we were never really satisfied with. We have, for the scope of game, we have a relatively small team, so we got a lot done. But with the extra time, I mean, even vehicles, for example, we're continuing to see how we can tune these. This hill is not my favorite.
Yeah.
We have lots of ideas to improve continuously. So.
Yeah, but what does it sound like when you're skidding off and on road? What sounds do you hear when you fuel and repair your vehicle? Are brand new from our newest sound designer, James. So it was a whole approach to everything we've done, and especially with this new map. Alex, our sound designer, is really focusing on how do environments work and how can we make them more and more realistic. So he did a ton of prototyping and figuring out new systems. As almost a ground to see what we could do in the future as well, where we're trying to leverage, specific birds and trees, and are those birds always there, and what birds are there, and what do you hear during night and day? For example, in State of Decay 2, we have 5 discrete times a day, so if you were to stand in one place, the environments are constantly changing and respecting what's happening day in and day out, and I think that's really cool.
So when we had Matt Heiniger in here last week, we were talking a lot about how he sort of used lighting to give each of the different maps sort of its own character, its own sort of distinctive look and feel. Were you able to do a similar kind of approach on the audio side?
Yeah, so we definitely just take what is it? It's nighttime, dawn, day, afternoon, dusk. And for each map, we would go in after map was done and make sure that our sound transitions followed his visuals.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, that really just goes down to what you would hear in reality of certain birds only hear at dawn, winds tend to pick up in the afternoons and then die down in the evenings. Yeah, absolutely. Hat in hand, we follow visuals as much as possible.
So we've finished that first giveaway that we were doing of that of the headset, and we've also got another Game Pass. Every half hour, we're going to be giving away some piece of hardware, and then a Game Pass membership. So we're going to do another giveaway for the Game Pass membership. Same rules apply. If you're on Mixer, if you're in the U.S., you'll be eligible for this. So watch for the bot to prompt you, and we'll do another giveaway. So you added a ton of new music to the game for the Juggernaut Edition,
which is insane.
Yeah, like given the amount of we added a whole new map. Out of 3, we added 4. We added a 4th core map. We added 1 new combat set. But I feel like the music you really outdid it yourself.
Yeah. So we had I think it was like a 20-minute budget plus whatever I could pull off. And what we did with it was 2 things. One was really want to support the new on-ramp missions. So there's actually music that we finally dedicated to doing things once and hearing things once. And so that's something we haven't been able to do before because everything was focused on coverage. Like, you could play this game 2 hours or
hundreds of hours. We got people over the thousands.
Yeah. So I wanted to keep sounds and music fresh for as long as possible while keeping new players interested. But for this case, we were able to just set some aside to really follow all of the on-ramp missions and have really specific things for when you kill your first plague heart, when you cure your first survivor or don't. And then we were also looking at how could we fill out some of the base game and the things you heard all the time that always just felt kind of missing. So there's things like when you claim an outpost, you now get a music cue. If you recruit someone, you get a music cue. So there was lots of opportunities to kind of tackle both of these 2 things.
You guys want to see some excellent, high-level stealth game?
Absolutely.
Okay, watch this. You sneak up behind them.
And then hug them.
And then you shoot them with a shotgun. Oh, what's that? A little red balloon at a drain. That's scary.
I love all the horror movie references the environment art team sneaks into our game. That's great.
No.
So, so you were talking about that there was a bunch of new music for the on-ramp, and it's really interesting seeing, like, because the game just came out on Steam and on Epic, we're seeing a bunch of new players who never even considered checking out the game before coming in. People in, particularly in China and Russia, we're already seeing a lot of downloads of the game. It's in the middle of the night over there.
Wow.
But
It's actually like 4 a.m. there now.
Yeah, it's like, in
So
China,
go to bed. Get some sleep.
But there's all these new players who are going to be playing the game for the first time, and their first look at the game is going to be this sort of, we talked to Leah about how she spent all this time like trying to capture all the different behaviors choices players might make, and then you're in there sort of like massaging the emotions of the experience with all these new music cues.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that people really can get into the game. We can grow our audience even bigger.
Yeah, and once they get into the base game, I mean, not just the music we had recorded, but then I would take all the stems that either I would write or our other composer Jesper Kid would write, and make different variations out of them. Some that you would only hear at night, some you would only hear in certain places, some you would only hear at certain difficulty modes. All the rule sets are different based on which difficulty mode. I mean, that's a whole nother system.
Wow. So, can you explain what a stem is actually?
Yeah, so let's say, I don't know if there's music playing now, but let's just take anything, for example, just a typical rock song. You could split out the drums into hi-hat, snare, kick, just treat that all as one thing. You could have different guitars. These are all separated out when you record them, and so they can be delivered to me all split out, and then I can take the mix, and then mute some, pitch some, stretch some things out, add some bits, move things around, rearrange things, add textures of my own if necessary. All to create different tones and moods, but still the melody stays intact, and the song is still the song. But there's different chances to hear these in a bunch of different ways, and all that together, I think, at this point, we probably are around, I don't know, we're definitely over 10 hours of music in this game, if not 12 or 13 at this point. Like, there's a lot of music.
Yeah, I wanted to point out, those of you who are experienced players, or people who, not just experienced players, players who have played the game before, one thing, this is the middle of the night, and look what we can do. We actually can see a little bit more around us. It doesn't happen all the time. Like, sometimes are a little bit darker, but for the most part, we tried to make night a little bit. We talked about this with Matt on Monday, but this is a kind of example of what some of what you can expect from the lighting changes too. We made nighttime, in some instances, a little bit more navigable.
You can actually leave your base now.
It's still creepy. There's still creepy parts, right? There's still very creepy parts, but.
And I'm impressed that you're actually remembering the new control scheme.
Oh, actually, I really wanted. There's something I wanted to point out. Xbox. I noticed today that when I jumped in, if you go to settings and controls, it's really helpful to hit revert settings to defaults, because there was a couple like key bindings that were held over.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So some people, when they jump right in, are seeing when they try and turn on, or when they try and hit the stealth, which is left post, it was turning on the light or the flashlight.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
Yeah, because that was a newly added control. It sneaks into your existing controls.
If you hit revert control settings to defaults, it'll take it to our new control scheme, which I think is a lot cleaner. But you can always go back to your old controls by remapping as well.
Yeah, so the remap option that's right above it is how you like if you try out the new control scheme and you really like some of the old ways that you got used to playing this game for 2 years, go back to remap on both console and PC. We allow full remapping of the keys or the button inputs. So
but definitely before you start or before you really get into it, hit the reset or restore to ouch. Wait. Why are you doing that? I'm just a...
And also, another thing specifically for PC players who have been playing the game, who bought it on PC, who bought it from the Windows Store, not the new folks who are joining us from Steam and Epic, the people who bought it from the Windows Store, there is a special sort of upgrade path that you guys have to follow. This is just because of technical details I don't fully understand. You have to fully uninstall the game and then re-get it from the Windows Store, and you have to clear your Windows Store cache.
Yeah.
So there not everyone knows how to do that. You don't have to do it all the time. And so we've got a full set of instructions up at stateofdecay.com/upgrade.
Yes.
So head over there. If you got this game originally on PC and you're having any trouble getting the Juggernaut upgrade, go over there to stateofdecay.com/upgrade, and you should have all the instructions you need to get it done.
Yeah.
Sorry it's complicated, but we're trying to make it as easy as for folks as we possibly can. So Kevin, what are you most excited about in the Juggernaut update?
For me, it's all the little things that probably people won't notice, but I swear they're there. The overall, I think, mix is a lot better. I remember one of the things that a lot of players really wanted, and I don't know why it was phrased this way, was car jamming music. Our music budget wasn't huge, so I've always wanted to put in like you find cassettes or CDs in specific cars that have specific music, but that we could never afford that. But what I was able to do, for example, is consider what type of music might be playing. And when you get in a car, I can actually turn the engine down as the music turns up. And there's a lot of this subtle dynamic mixing that we were able to add. Just overall heightens the experience. Revisited a lot of the music rules on like what happens when you're hearing music and leave bass or come back to bass. What sounds you hear, like for example, if Brant had headphones on, he would have heard that zombie coming at him if he was in the in-game menu.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I think that initial experience with the custom music, and we put a lot of effort into the heavy weapons, a lot of that encompasses a lot of the new sounds we created.
I would like to say I'm a little disappointed in your answer.
Why?
Because the opportunity to get and sit next to me on stream should have been first at the top of your list. Should have been.
Okay. File a JIRA ticket? I don't know. we can work on that for the next one.
It's going to be a priority 1 bug for you.
So one of the things that when we were talking to Matt last week or this past Monday, was he said basically he was able to get the lighting of the original release up to a certain level by ship, which is often the standard that we end up having to follow, right? But then
we got a message from Megan.
Okay, cool. I'll catch that. So anyway, we were, but then when he came back for the Juggernaut Edition, he got to spend so much more time going over the same terrain he'd gone over before, but this time he had more time to sort of, really take his time to get it right. It sounds like you had a similar kind of thing on the audio side.
Yeah, with the content updates that were released, they would pick up a little bit here and there, but there was definitely a concerted effort to like make Juggernaut shine a lot more. I don't know what the audio version of shining is, but
sparkle. Yeah. No, that's still visual.
Yeah, I mean, for each iteration, we were able to do a little more, but this was definitely a much larger effort. I think for a long time, the full audio team was working just on Juggernaut. So it wasn't just a small effort here and there. It was all hands all the time, and really got to sit down and nitpick, as it were, our own work and see what we could make better without really adding stuff, but like working with what we already have in there. Because I think we have something like 35,000 sound effects. Like there's no shortage of sounds we can manipulate and reuse and play with. And then really focus on what can we make better without needing new support, new programming support, and things we already had.
Yeah, that is the challenge all the time because one of the more valuable resources on any game development team is the code resources.
Of course, yeah.
Because coders can do things that no one else can do, and they're in demand to help everyone with everything. And so, on the mission design side, on the audio side, a lot of times we find us sort of stretching ourselves to figure out what can we do with the tools we already have.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the answer is quite a bit, and yeah. So, by the way, we are doing a redrawing on that Game Pass thing. There's a lot of people who seem to want to enter raffles for Game Pass memberships and then immediately leave the channel. So we're giving that another try, but I'm not going to throw all this stuff up on the air. No, I think you folks get it in the chat. You know how it works.
Maybe it's just hard to wrap your head around fraffle.
Yeah. Like somebody types it, it's almost like they go mad, like they've looked into the face of Cthulhu after they type that word, and they just like go crazy and they just leave.
The face of nice. Hey, Shell, let's talk.
So our next guest is entering the green room now. So in just about 6 minutes, we're going to be switching over and meeting Susan OLEINIK, who a lot of you haven't seen her in a while. It's, I think, been since like last October that we've had you on the stream. So look forward to that. But, wow.
I'm hoping to find the food this... Hey, lady, all you had to do was come inside and look around. I'll take the...
From their own house. Let
That's
me
right.
hand this to you.
Is it her? No, she's just out here checking. Oh, she wants to join my community. This is where I can say, I'm going to learn about you. You know chemistry, yes. Plus, I like your name. Come on home with us.
Her name is Shell, like Shel Silverstein?
Well, let's find out. Well, she has to earn her keep, so she's gonna become the player character here in a second. But and for those of you who are new, I don't know how many of you guys watching are new to State of Decay. You play as a community, so you're switching characters all the time. As people get hurt or get tired, you'll want to make sure you switch because permadeath will bite you in the butt.
I mean, that's another big part of the audio as well, is having lots of different voices and characters and just tons and tons of VO, which helps build some of these characters. And we had a great effort in try to expand our inclusivity of different cultures, races, and perspectives with our VO. And I think we're always learning and doing better, but it was a great outcome for us that we're going to push on even more in the future.
I mean, that was something that just wasn't done on console before. That many voices, I don't think. Playable voices.
Yeah.
So we were, you guys were pioneering new pathways.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys talking to Andy today? Is he coming in?
He wasn't able to make it into the office
Okay.
today, so we are planning on talking to him sometime soon because he had a lot to do with because he wrote so much new dialogue for the on-ramp for the new player missions and he actually was able to sort of continue those characters that you start the tutorial with. They all have different relationships and all that carries some meaning. Once you get into the sort of the main procedurally generated game, though, a lot of that kind of drops away a little bit. And you can remember it, and you can sort of apply those relationships to the characters. But the game was mostly built under the assumption that most of your characters are randomly generated.
Right. Yeah.
But he was able to extend those relationships and those attitudes deeper into the game by writing more dialogue for the new player missions.
We had a whole, I think it was at least a week long of VO recordings for Juggernaut specifically.
Bringing
So-
all 14 of those actors back into the studio.
Yeah,
That's-
we didn't have any more for the non-playables, but yeah, every playable character had a full session, which is
Take a
Awesome.
rucksack,
Yeah.
put it into the base.
So we actually do have some winners. So the winner of this amazing, highly convenient Xbox headset, the winner is Smog85. So congratulations, Smog85, for picking this up. And then the winner of our 6-month Game Pass membership is Jazzy Noop. So congrats to Jazzy Noop. We'll do another one of these in probably about 12 minutes.
Congrats.
So, yeah, congrats, everybody. People in the chat have already said congrats a long time ago, but congrats from us. We only congratulate you on the air once we're really sure you exist and you're going to receive the prize.
So now I've got somebody new.
one last thing I'll bring up with I know we have outfit switching now. We have all the Foley, like swinging and jumping and running, all is dynamic based on what you're wearing and what you're carrying and all of that. So like, if you have a leather jacket, all of your sounds are different than if you're wearing a hoodie than you are if you're wearing a parka. Like everything gets swapped out. So even at that minutia, we're looking at trying to support the characters. You know, what size backpack you have on changes how it sounds when you run, jump, roll, fall.
I just realized I should share the incredulous look I have on my face with the audience. You're telling me all these things. So I had no idea that it varied with that. So did you like generate like a whole set of just different kinds of fabric people might wear and then apply them to the new outfits as they arrive? Or have any new outfits arrived that you had to actually do extra work to support?
I think to some extent we worked on, one of the newest ones is I think the Army outfit.
Like the tactical suits, yeah.
A lot of it did come into category. We treat everything with classes of things. It's same with design, right? You need to put things in categories in order to get it. But I know Jordan and I recorded all the backpacks and all the first round of everything's at his studio, where I'm doing the running and the jumping, and then It's funny, you know, it was like trying to combine what the backpack should sound like for small, medium, large, and rucksack is more about, okay, shove this one and that one and then put some weights in it and then jostle it around. And yeah, I worked up a sweat that day. But yeah, we're always adding all those things, and I think just going to keep trying to give those little things that just fit, you know, because if it doesn't, it kind of pulls your ear. But if you have a leather jacket, it should sound like a leather jacket.
Yeah. The thing that's tough about audio, and I'm sure you know that you definitely know this, is that when you're doing it right, things just feel natural, and people don't notice how great it is. It's only when it's really weird, when you get really sort of cheap audio in a game that people are like, huh, and get off put by it. And so, I just can't say enough how awesome it is to have somebody, have a team of people who are so devoted to getting the details right and making sure that this world feels like the real world when I'm playing in it.
We
it
love
feels
being
so good.
unnoticed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of having you be unnoticed, I think we've run out of time.
Ninja smoke.
So Kevin, thank you for coming on. It's been really great having you, and we'll definitely have to have more folks from your team back on here in the future.
For sure.
So we're going to do a transition where we watch one of our dev diaries. So we will.
I'm throwing Ninja Smoke again really slowly.
Okay, go for it, and poof.
Players have been asking us for another environment for as long as the game has been out, and it's sort of a delight to finally give them this thing that they've been clamoring for, and give them all these new nooks and crannies to explore, new places to survive and thrive, and inevitably get murdered by juggernauts, and all the other awesome stories that happen in between.
The map is really special compared to our other maps because of all of the storytelling elements that are inside of it. When you go in and you dive into these little nooks and crannies and corners, you see these pieces of the story coming to light. You'll see creepy cultists and people who tried to fight off a zombie with a lawnmower and lost. So there's all these little tidbits of stories in the map that are really special compared to anything that we've done so far.
We've got the Prescott Fire Station and Lundegard Lumber, which internally we've been calling the Sawmill, has 5 large slots. So like, there's gonna be some players out there who hear me say that, and you're like, you did what? Wait, how? What? How is that? Isn't that broken? That can't be right. You can actually build all 4 of the leader facilities in the same base for the first time, so you can like complete the infinity gauntlet of facilities. So it's awesome to sort of have that possibility. While on the other side of the map, we have our Fire Watch Fortress for the new players and a much more streamlined sort of tutorial and on-ramp flow. And so we focused on both making it wonderful for new players in the starter area, but we also tried to make sure that the sort of endgame parts of it would provide something fresh and exciting for the returning players or for veterans.
We backported Fog because we wanted to make Providence Ridge a really special map. So when you go in, it's this lumber mill town with all the logging, and it has this foggy feeling, and you really get a sense of the atmosphere, which is special with it. It's definitely more Pacific Northwest. It was funny because I drove up to my hometown, which isn't too far from Seattle, and it looks exactly like that map.
Players have been talking about a new map forever. We went out the gate with 3, which was a lot, but we want to sort of keep giving you different context in which to live out your zombie survival fantasy. And so providing even more variety of environments, of bases, of towns, of little worlds unto themselves to explore gives the players new opportunities to take what they think they would do in the apocalypse and sort of test it out and realize it, right? And so we tried to consider all these angles when we put Providence Ridge together so that everybody can have a good time, everybody has a reason to check it out, and hopefully everyone will come away as excited as we are.
Welcome back. Here is Susan OLEINIK.
Hi, everybody.
This is what happens when I do Ninja Smoke. I get rid of smelly, stinky Kevin and wonderful, amazing Suzo.
If only we'd been able to put all those decorations up also during the break. That would have been amazing.
Do you guys like our 80s prom we put up in here? It's amazing.
So Susan, Erin, and Lisa all kind of went in together on making these decorations, which is great. So thank you, Susan, for that. But Susan is not just the decorator of our room. Susan joined our team in the last year of State of Decay 2's development. She got us across the finish line as our user experience lead. So she's responsible for leading the team that gave us outfits. She's responsible for leading the team that gave us a new front end. In fact, do we want to start? Do we want to? Are you in a position to back out right now and check out the front end?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me exit to main menu, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Here we go.
Not to desktop. I would have to flee really quickly.
Oh, that 80s prom theme just brought it all back.
I didn't have an 80s prom.
Every single person.
I did 90s prom.
I mean, I'm willing to bet that a majority of people listen to Forever Young by Alphaville at their prom.
You know what? Probably so. I don't remember.
And dancing with your arms, you know.
That's right.
Very,
My main memory was a huge
like
screen and
this.
the Black Hole Sun video playing, so it was really different.
What a dark.
Giant growing eyes. It was awesome.
okay.
Enough reminiscence.
We've learned a thing today. All right. So, our new front end.
Da, da, da,
Check
da.
that out. Oh, let me get out of the way real quick.
Yeah,
Here.
get out of here.
Yeah, by Geoffrey. It's fine. You can make us go away so we can see it all in its glory. So
So what was the idea? What was the set of priorities you guys used when you were sort of revamping the front end?
Right, so the last time I was on this stream was way back when we had launched our outfits feature, and shortly after I then kicked off a strike team with a select group of very talented people to completely revamp our new front end and a bunch of the other UI menus in the game. This is a really important one because one of the big awesome parts about Juggernaut Edition is that all of the different game modes are unlocked and free for everybody. So you have the base game, you have Heartland, you have Daybreak. Gone is that DLC rotating menu that we created back when we were envisioning DLC would take a different turn, right? And we've streamlined it. So now we have all of your other sub options at the bottom of the, yep, there we go.
Settings,
Updates.
This
Your
one's huge.
You want to check that one out?
Yeah. This is big, everybody. So for people that haven't legacied a game before, this is a menu you would only see if you had completely legacied. And it's a way for you to go through and maintain how many people you keep in your pool so that you can create new games with these players moving forward because
That's right.
of technical reasons that we'll have an engineer explain later on the stream. We can only have so many in your pool. So we only prompted this menu when, we're about to lose someone. We said, well, this is too bad because we wanted the opportunity for you to go back and look at all the characters from your past games, take a look at them, and then get really hyped to start new games with some of your old favorites, right? So there it is. This is the current Survivor pool. Go back and see your old friends.
So, all of you people who haven't legacied, start doing it because it pays dividends later.
You can keep all of these characters, use them in your future games. It's so funny, I had forgotten about that blast from the past when we first originally added this feature to the game. It was because there were some players who had played the game so much, they had filled their legacy pool so hugely with so many characters that their game couldn't save anymore.
Yeah.
And their save game had gotten so huge so we actually had to impose a limit. And when we imposed a limit, that meant that we had to put a screen to let you manage which characters you keep and which characters you don't.
Right.
And now you can see that from the beginning. You can tell, oh, there's this whole long term, I can collect all of these survivors over time. Most players aren't even aware that feature exists.
Right. This is definitely something we wanted to surface and get you guys hyped. And just remember, hey, I want to go now and start a new game with all my new favorites.
So, shall I continue?
Yeah, go for
Sure.
it.
So that was a huge piece of what I've been up to the past 3 months. A big, huge applause to my team, the super talented artists and everybody that made everything look really pretty and get you all jazzed and exciting. The little quip I kept saying was, Juggernaut Edition is a gift, and a gift needs good wrapping paper. So this is
Exactly.
this is our new wrapping paper for this really amazing edition that we're so honored and excited to get out in front of everybody, and it's been a heck of a ride. And so thank you so much for all of your support during this time. We've loved developing this, and we're very excited to get this out into the wild.
And we were lucky to have someone who's so good at leading and organizing teams to do so.
You say that now. So the last time I was on this stream was to discuss the outfits feature, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's so and it started in October with a certain number of outfits, but it's only been growing ever since, right?
Right.
And we've seen a lot of players, engaging with the bounty broker and going out there and collecting these outfits. Some players have just gotten obsessed with getting every single outfit that they can out of the loot.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It is so much fun, and I'm so thrilled to see that closet grow and grow and have more new goodies added all the time by our super talented character art team.
Yeah, we just saw some, we're not going to tell you what it is yet. It just something new was just made and dropped in our Slack channel yesterday. It was really good, especially old school fans of State of Decay are going to love it. We can't tell you what it is. There's still so much going on.
There is.
I mean, we're not just dropping Juggernaut and running away. Right?
Yeah, please don't think that Juggernaut done, you know. We're working on new things, and already I'm leading up another thing, which I can't talk about here on this stream. These two know what I'm up to.
Yeah.
So, you know, you guys say you like having me on the stream. I don't know if you will anymore. So the last time I was on the stream, I brought hats because we're talking about clothing.
Yes, that's true.
We're celebrating a big thing, and we have an 80s prom background, so...
What is this?
I actually don't know what's happening here.
I thought these two have upgraded to tiaras.
Oh, okay,
so.
awesome. So part of the problem with this tiara is it's held on by combs for the hair on the side of your head.
Yeah.
You have none?
I'm not. Is this just going to be impaling my ears? Is that what it's going to do?
Jeffrey,
I hope so.
Beauty is
Stop,
pain.
Stop
Beauty
complaining.
is pain.
Beauty is pain.
Oh, I feel like a ballerina from Black Swan.
Good.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, look how
There we
shiny.
go. Oh, I feel beautiful.
Okay.
I feel pretty.
It's beautiful. Jeffrey, what are you voted most likely?
So I wasn't any of the senior superlatives in my yearbook, and I was very disappointed in myself because as a shameless self-promoter, I felt like I had fallen, I had failed at my grandest ambition in life. So yeah, so I don't know. Somebody would have to tell me what I am.
I was
anything
prom
in particular.
king.
You were prom king?
Yes.
Whoa.
My class voted me in as a joke because the people who...
Oh, you were Carrie?
Because the people who usually won it expected to win, and they were like, no, somebody stupid and jerky should win, so they...
Did they cover you with pig's blood?
You know what I'm saying? Any buckets
No,
of blood?
I didn't get any buckets of blood.
Okay.
Man.
Well, I mean, did you want it, though?
Did I want buckets of blood?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I figured. It's
Lots of blood. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Turning away from that dark
Yeah,
time,
no, exactly. No, I mean, I didn't...
We are bespeckled.
I wanted
We're
to
gorgeous.
I wanted to point out that look at it's nighttime.
Look how well lit that base
Look
is at
at
night.
how well
You
lit
can see
this
the
base
base.
is.
Look at that.
So-
it's amazing.
Spent a lot of time tuning the lights to make it so, for the most part, you can see a lot better if your base is powered. That was really hugely important to me, and since I was given the task to make all the bases anyways, I just gave myself that task as well.
Yeah.
Some bases are huge and are harder to light, but those of you who have played a lot and know that running around in your safe space that's completely dark at night, a little scary, this is a lot better. So, and I'm hoping someday to go back and retrofit the older maps with better lighting. I can't promise that, but that's high on my list of personal projects. So,
Absolutely.
So it is about time for us to do another giveaway. So let me actually, we've got a pretty unique thing here. So when Brant and I should actually zoom in on myself here so you can actually see this. When Brant and ERIN went to PAX East, they had a community event and they had these hoodies made for members of our community. And I can't really show. It's got a little. You can maybe barely see it. There's a heart on the chest, a kind of disgusting heart, like from one of our loading screens on the chest.
Anatomical heart.
An anatomically correct heart on the chest. Your heart will be beating with love for State of Decay if you get this. So this hoodie, it's an extra large, so it'll fit almost anyone. And if you're interested in this, there's some rules. We'll flash that link for the rules on the screen real quick. The biggest rules are, though, you have to be watching us on Mixer right now. You got to be following us on Mixer, and you got to be in the U.S. because there's legal stuff that means you have to be in the U.S. Sorry about that, those of you who aren't, because especially we've actually got a lot of new players from all over the world right now getting the game on Steam. But for right now, we can only ship this to you from the U.S. Sorry about that. But if you want to get it, watch for the bot to prompt you, and then type !FRAFFLE or Fraffle. Make sure you spell it
Fraffle.
right. It's
Fraffle.
Fraffle. Yeah. That sounds like, isn't that like a Snapple flavor or something like that?
It's a Starbucks drink.
Oh, it does sound like a Starbucks drink. Okay, anyway, so I will switch back to the gameplay, but that's going on. And
Can I drive?
right afterwards, we're going to do another one for another Game Pass membership. So keep your eyes out for that.
Oh, yeah, get out. Get off my truck. Seriously, this new map is fantastic.
This is physically hurting my head. I have to take it off now.
Oh,
Sorry.
come on. Beauty is pain.
You can give me another, lay if you got that. Oh, well, whatever.
Oh, we got more beads.
see, to look this good, I am willing to go through the pain.
Yes, exactly. Brant has always been willing. Yeah, more up for this stuff than I am. You should go back to our YouTube channel and find the video that's labeled "Tight Pants," and you can see Brant in all of his glory.
No. I've paid a company to scrub that from all existence. I lost a bet to Fallout Girl, and yeah, I should not bet people, are fans. I shouldn't. But I will, again, I'm sure.
This map, it's pretty dark out right now, but the very first time I loaded it up, I was just blown away, even in its really early stages, about how much I wanted to run around and explore it. This is such a crown jewel of this edition. It is so much fun.
The verticality of it really kind of helps with that, right? Because there's so many places where you can like look off a cliff and so like stare out over Grand Vista, like the same sort of feeling you get when you go to a place like Crater Lake, and you're like, I can't believe I'm in a place this big. There's a lot of places like that in Providence Ridge that that really it's hard to find a comparable place in any of the other
It's
maps.
really elaborate.
It is. It's like a mermaid.
These are really nice pieces of hardware that you got us here.
Exactly.
I feel like we should raffle these off too, but no, I'm kidding.
I can't.
Zombie prom.
Yes,
We'll do a
the zombie
virtual
prom.
one.
Oh, they don't like me.
Oh, run. What did you do, Brant?
I just showed up.
People are just jerks.
Aren't you used to that?
Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. Because I'm not good at this. Except
There
I'm
we
good
go.
at that. Oh, yeah, you're gonna...
Yeah.
Oh!
Ah!
And on top of that, zombies hate you too.
Yeah,
Oh,
unfortunately, that means so much noise. I mean, those guns are really effective against the humans, but then they just attract all the zombies.
Oh, run.
Wow.
Wait, no, loot.
I think we got them all. Yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
Some sweet fat loots.
A funny story. See the little coffin icon over dead humans in this game?
Yes.
We had to create that system. When was that? Like
ages ago.
2 years ago or
Probably,
something?
yeah.
Because we realized that when for example, if someone in your community dies, you're going to want to be able to find them because you might have a bunch of interesting things equipped to them. Also, the whole I lost my buddy kind of mortality thing. So we had to be able to add a way to look for them on the map. And so Jeffrey and I spent a day brainstorming on what's the design and user interface around finding dead bodies. And Mom might be watching. Hi, Mom. Remember, she called me and said, hey, honey, how's your day? And I was like, well, I was, designing how you find dead bodies in our games. So that's game development.
And there's so many, when we were designing it, most of the game already worked. And so we were designing it on top of a bunch of existing systems, and that's one of the biggest challenges of designers working in a game that already works is you got to find the right solution, not just the sort of the pie in the sky. What would I do if I just had no restrictions? But you got to find the version of it that works with the code that already exists. And so we did also a lot of collaboration with Sam and so to figure out there's like 3 things we could possibly do. Which of these works the best? And there's a lot of back and forth. And one of the things I think Susan really excels at is bringing teams of people together and consulting with everyone that could possibly have an opinion and making sure that she comes to sort of arrives at a solution that really will work the best for everyone, for players, for the people implementing it, for the schedule, for everything. So
thanks, Jeffrey.
She's great to have on the team.
Yay. It's a lot of fun. When you're working on a game, we're almost at our 2nd birthday for State of Decay 2.
Yeah,
that's
right.
coming
Crazy.
up soon. That means that when you add additional systems and you start building new features, you have to build it on top of the decisions you made in the past. So I call it the decision lasagna. Because it has strata of decisions we made along the road of developing this piece of software. And it's an interesting puzzle to have to unravel.
Well, part of the reason we got into game development is because I love playing Baba Is You, right? Which is like this complicated puzzle game where it's all about rethinking the rules and figuring out how to accomplish things in spite of a whole bunch of different complications. And loving that kind of thing is why you get into game development. And so, even though some of these problems are hard, I think we have the most fun we have is trying to solve some of these really difficult, weird problems.
It's true, yeah, and solving it with people we enjoy being around too. So we're in it together.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're at odds. Sometimes Jeffrey wants 30 things, and as a user experience designer, I'm like, well, no one's gonna see 30 things on the screen. Can we do 5? And we have to kind of give and take. And we all come from a place of what's important to us individually, and it's all about trying to do what's best for the player. And so I think at the end of the day, we're all it's a big collaborative messy, fantastic world, and we're happy to be in it. So yeah.
So one thing I should point out, by the way, I think it's probably about time, and watch the bot in the chat to make sure that this is right. It's about time to do the raffle for another Game Pass membership. So
Fraffle.
'cause I think we're getting we're closing in on a winner of the first one. So just throwing that out there. Don't want to spend same rules as before. Don't want to bring up the rules every single time because we spend more time talking to Susan.
Which flavor of fraffle is it? Is it a strawberry peach mango fraffle, or is it
these sound like I think whenever my daughter is obsessed with the pink drink at Starbucks, and so the fraffle sounds like it's probably in that zone somewhere.
Who are these guys? They just randomly showed up.
Ooh, you have new friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna trade with them too because I forgot to get rid of stuff before I showed up. What do they have?
Can we, for a hot second, can you loot that container right there?
Yeah.
This is, looking behind the curtain, one of the most amazing things. Oh, nice. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad that you found something good like a ruck, but I find it amazing you can go into an enclave's house, loot their stuff, and then sell it back to them. That is a quirky little delight of our game, but it means you can quickly sell stuff. So
don't fall in love with that. I'd love to change that.
Yeah, that actually is on one of our lists of silly things in the game that we would love to do something about.
Hey, welcome to our home. We don't know you, but let's trade. Oh, go ahead and take our stuff. Oh, I'll pay you for it.
Yeah.
Here, let's say, I'm gonna sell this to you now.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Here, take my hard-won booty.
Excellent. Yes.
So yeah, but that really does underscore the fact that one of the things we really want to make sure people understand is that the Juggernaut Edition is not the final edition of State of Decay 2.
Yes.
The Juggernaut Edition, it's a big opportunity for us to get the game in front of a lot of new people. We've expanded it in some huge ways, particularly with the map and the heavy weapons, and with the whole new front end. But we're not done.
Yes.
We still know there's a lot of room to expand this game. And Susan has got a secret top secret team.
Wow.
That she's a super sock. I don't know. What I'm
Super
talking about.
socket.
A super sock. She's got a super top secret team that she's working with.
We are not putting socks in State of Decay. Do not listen to Geoffrey and start going on Reddit and saying that socks are confirmed. That's not what I'm working on.
And we've got one of our other guests who's coming in is heading up another team who's working on an even completely different thing. We've still got a lot of irons in the fire. So this is not the swan song. We're going to continue supporting this game for a while into the future. Especially with there's a whole bunch of people who have I've been sort of tracking our metrics here.
Oh my gosh.
The number of people who are playing the game at once is up in the tens of thousands right now, which is it's a big jump from where it was before on a typical day. And we're in a lot of new obviously we're on a couple of new platforms with Steam and the Epic Store. We're also we're seeing huge jumps in China, in Russia, in Germany.
Right.
A lot of people who don't typically get their games from the Microsoft Store are now getting it from the Steam Store and from the Epic Store, and we're just seeing huge new audiences. We've just added. We haven't completed it yet. We've added some Chinese localization.
The rest of it's coming.
Yeah, we're going to keep upgrading it. Right now, I think we've localized a lot of the key stuff in the user interface, but a lot of the dialogue and stuff has not yet been localized.
Exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So exciting.
We have this live chart we have in one of our monitors right here, just showing live data, and sorry, this is delightful when it's a graph that's going yeep, and that's all I can really say is yeep, and knowing that it affects our day-to-day, and then this is you guys coming out to support us and sticking around, having a great time. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. This is so much fun.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun for us. After spending, because we've been working on the Juggernaut Edition for months and months now.
Right.
Something like 9 months now.
Gosh, how far back did we officially?
It's the end of summer, I think, that we actually.
Yes, the end of summer.
Kicked off the map.
We were kicking off.
And then you were doing outfits for a while, but we sort of basically we had a bunch of updates we wanted to do leading up to Juggernaut. But as each of those updates finished, that team would then start helping with Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And so the Juggernaut team just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
until now. We finally get to release it and see all of our work sort of come out, and people get to enjoy it. So it's good for
We
us.
definitely props to the team for while we were working on like this gigantic map and lots of other stuff. So that was all being kind of tucked away and held so we could give a nice giant release like this. But at the same time, we had another huge chunk of the team constantly making new features, new content, so that we had, yes, I know we saw a lot of people complaining about clothing content drops, but we assured you that that's not what we were all working on, right?
Yeah.
Those are just the kind of small drops that we could do in between the giant ones. And so,
like as we moved more and more
seriously.
members of our team onto the Juggernaut Edition,
Yeah.
the team that was left that basically was there not working on Juggernaut, working on stuff was the sort of the outfits and clothing and
guns and
bounties
stuff, yeah.
team, right?
It was really hard to keep our mouth shut whenever we'd see that because we desperately wanted to share with you guys
Yeah.
and to get some of you off our backs, really. But thanks for being patient and sticking with us because this is a really exciting day.
Yeah.
Super exciting. Like, this is my favorite map. Maybe it's because I recognize this so much. It's so much like just outside of Seattle.
Have you shown them the Sawdust
Whoa,
Festival?
hey now,
Whoa,
whoa.
whoa. Hey, buddy.
I was just supposed to come talk to you.
Did
and
he
now
just zombify?
Yeah, it's like they all ate the same chili or something.
Do not
They-
eat
they ate-
apocalypse chili.
Yeah.
They all ate from the mystery meat sack.
Did you
okay.
explain that on the?
No, I think people can discover a mystery meat on their own.
Oh, these guys
Okay,
are
so I
serious.
actually jumped the gun on the Game Pass thing. Now is actually when it's happening. So, same rules as before. Mixer, US. I can flash little rules on the screen, and we're going for the Game Pass membership. But we actually already have a winner for the hoodie. So the winner for the hoodie is I'm gonna totally mispronounce your name, but it looks like Paidegua Gamer. Paidegua Gamer is the winner of our hoodie. So congratulations.
Congrats, that's an awesome hoodie,
That's
by
a
the
good
way.
hoodie.
That's really like one of a kind. I don't think we're ever giving away that hoodie again.
No, this
So-
was a short run of 40 that they made for the PAX for my birthday party at PAX,
Yeah.
and
Pretty much all of them were given away except for this one.
Yeah,
right?
there's that. There might be 2 existent outs.
So you have an extremely valuable piece of loot coming your way. So congratulations, Paidegua Gamer. I guess. I'm really sorry if that's just completely off the pronunciation. Anyway, yeah, we can.
I'm just trying to figure that name. I can't wrap my mouth around
Yeah,
it.
I'm betting it might be rooted in a different language, which might be why I'm having trouble figuring out the intent there.
Wow.
So yeah, King Bobo in the chat wants to know: can you buy the hoodies? No. This hoodie?
No.
Nope. Can't. It is special limited edition.
Oh my gosh, so many bodies.
I just talked to them. I just talked to them.
It's okay.
So I think in my game at home, I think I ran through that exact same mission. I felt so bad.
Oh no.
This is one of the jerks that did it too. Take off with your head. I'm gonna kick his head around a little bit.
But did you go
He
to the
goes. He
Sawdust?
goes. Goal. Sorry.
Did you go to the Sawdust Festival yet?
Not yet. We're gonna get. We got hours to play this today.
All
When
kinds
you
of
get
time.
there, everyone, it's my favorite part of this map. Soon. It's okay. I'll let someone else. Oh, I only have 3 more minutes. What else should we talk about in my last
I don't
3
know.
minutes?
I think I'm going to type. Where are you, Jürgen?
I may actually have you sit here and play while I run and find out where my child ran off to.
He's
Okay, that's a good plan.
So sorry about the sweaty, gross controller. You might want to use.
Some hand sanitizer.
Okay.
You can hand
We're
it to me if you want
practicing
to too.
safe gaming. Using hand sanitizer. Very important. Hey, look, it's your child.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he's been found.
Hi, son. Come on around. Come on around. Say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right, bud?
Yep.
Doing good? Come sit down
Come
and
say
crush
hello.
my legs.
Brogan also has on a really cool necklace today.
You
Yay!
want to
And
say
a
hi to
cool
your
hoodie.
mom?
Hey, Mom.
This is my giant child who's crushing the life out of me because he's bigger than I am. You looking at yourself on TV?
So yeah, if you guys keep people entertained for just a second. I'll make
Oh,
sure we got
gosh.
another guest.
Oh,
Doing good.
yep. Well, while Jeffrey's out, Brant and I have some really fun stuff because internally, we're really excited how well this game is doing. We wanted to just take that excitement and go up another notch. So, we had went to the party store.
Oh, I'm gonna put it on pause for this.
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
you're really gonna do that?
no, we'll do it in the office.
Oh, okay, because Kevin will come back in here with his hair on fire.
Yeah, this is the audio's room that we're allowed to use. We will do this at our desks. When we hit certain metrics, like 500,000 people playing the game and other good things, we have party poppers. And I have bigger party poppers.
Lots of them.
For other ones. But the granddaddy of all of it, when we get 1 million new users, which we are on target sometime to hit, we're going to set this sucker off. Right at Brant.
But not here on the stream. I don't want to have to clean up this room.
But at least just know that every time you download Juggernaut Edition, you're one person closer to us being able to take this thing
And mess up the office.
It'll be amazing.
Help us mess up the office.
Yes. It's like an NPR, like a drive, basically.
Except none of us have ever spoken that softly.
Yeah, not softly. Hello, my name is Susan.
Welcome to the State of Decay stream.
Yes, good afternoon. Today, in Pioneer Square, we are doing this thing.
We'd like to hear from Geoffrey now.
Yes.
I don't know how to speak this softly. This is extremely
He's
unnatural
breaking out in
for
the
me.
sweat trying to talk that softly.
Also, sorry guys, no tote bags. No, we don't do tote bags.
Okay, well, it is 2:30.
All right.
So we are going to transition to our next guest. But thank you so much, Susan, for coming in.
Yay.
And all these decorations and all this whole party. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brogan.
Thank you, Brogan. All right, bye everybody. See you in a few months when we can talk about what else I've been up to. So,
or maybe
keep
we'll get you in
being
earlier.
awesome.
We'll see.
All right.
Oh, wait. We have news.
We started
What?
with our art director, Kevin Punn, going in and doing paint overs. So he grabbed screenshots of the maps and went in and actually hand painted over the images, say, this is how I want it to look. This is the visual quality I expect for our game for Juggernaut. Graphics was a very special group because it's so impactful for the entire game. I mean, it's the entire look. There's everything from terrain shaders, materials, art, props, the character themselves, the water, the way it moves, flows, and all the VFX. There's the lighting, which interacts with every single asset.
We did changes to the road shader. We did changes to the terrain, the grass, the foliage, the new front-end interfaces. Brand new lighting pass on the community screen. It makes the characters pop so much more.
That team started out really nebulous of how do we improve overall graphics, and we really narrowed that down.
One of the big improvements that we made is to the lighting of the game. The very first thing you see is this gorgeous orange sunset, and I was able to redo that entire scene to a much greater effect. I've wanted to have more of a visual distinction between the maps. So you can look at a screenshot or look at what your friend's playing on a stream or something and immediately know which map they're in. I wanted each map to have its own kind of mood. It's so much closer to what I've had in my head all along, and it's really great allowing the players to see that. The great thing about Juggernaut is not any one new feature that we changed. Just how different it looks when you add all of these up together, that's really what Juggernaut is all about for me.
And welcome back. Here's JØRGEN TJERNØ.
Ninja Smoke. Oh, wait, I did it too late.
So this is Jürgen. He is our technical director. He was an engineer behind several systems in the original State of Decay 2, including my favorite, the character system. But now he is our technical director. After actually, you also were key to building the Choose Your Own Apocalypse update, right?
Yeah, that was my baby. Well, I mean, obviously there were so many other people involved, but like Susan, you get a little attached to the work you're doing and the features you're working on. So it's been a blast. I mean, I feel like we've had so many different things that I worked on for the past almost 4 years now that it kind of all blends together. It feels like it's all my game and it's all not my game. Like it's all. When I was writing a little post to my Facebook friends about this release, I was like, look at this amazing thing that the team has done. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I should maybe also include some phrasing that implies that I worked on it so that people don't think that like I was just not there. But, it feels like feels like a wonderful experience to all of us.
And now that you're the technical director, I mean, your job, like Kevin was saying, your job is to take credit for everyone else's work anyway, right?
I mean, I haven't been the technical director for that long, so I haven't had. This is my first opportunity to really capitalize on somebody else's success, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be good.
It just gets better and better.
But yeah, I was an individual contributor up until about Heartland, at which point I became the technical director, and so Juggernaut, the entirety of Juggernaut has kind of been my purview. It's been an interesting product line.
Well, let's pop into the game real quick to sort of.
I'm dealing with the aftermath of the slaughter, and
oh Lord, what's happened here?
These guys asked me to go across the street and deal with their noisy neighbors. I went over there. All the neighbors are dead and they're zombies. And now I came back and I can't talk to them because I didn't deal with them.
I mean, zombies are like the noisiest of neighbors, though.
Well, they weren't. See, I had just visited the neighbors before I came over, and they were alive and well. And then apparently being loud is deadly. So
were you the last person to see them alive, Brant?
Allegedly.
He was definitely the last person to see them standing.
That's true.
Do you? Can we take a look at your weapons? Are there any?
No.
Are we going to see any bloodstains or anything?
Well, yes. This is the apocalypse.
For many reasons, yeah. I should point out real quick, by the way, we do have a winner of that Game Pass subscription that we gave out. SOD2 Danyo is the winner. So,
congratulations!
I think this is not the first time SOD2 Danyo has won something from us, and so thank you for your frequent visits, SOD2 Danyo.
I mean, it's
well deserved.
Being an ongoing fan is a rewarding experience, I think, is the truth here.
At least as much for us as it is for them. So, so one of the things that is kind of exciting about the Juggernaut Edition is that it's coming to like multiple new platforms, or I should say, it has come to multiple new platforms. Because we've got originally this, our game was available as sort of a universal Xbox game. You could play it on from the Windows Store.
Play anywhere is the
play anywhere. That's the word. Yes, thank you. It was a play anywhere game. So you could play it on your PC, you could play it on your Xbox, but it wasn't on Steam, it wasn't on Epic, and what's the process like of trying to branch out? I mean, because now we've got a version of this game where you can get it from all these different places, but it's all multiplayer compatible. Yeah. I mean, that seems like that must have been a huge headache on the back end.
I mean, there was it was both a challenging. It was definitely a challenging experience, partially because of the timeline and the size of our team. We're a pretty small studio, but honestly, we got a lot of help from being a part of the Xbox studio family, and it was great because, the technology we used to have for our multiplayer was all original Microsoft technology for cross-play between platforms, so we didn't have to think about it too much. And when we're adding new platforms on Steam and Epic that didn't have the same kind of integrated multiplayer model that was cross-play compatible, and so we had to replace the entire network model to do this, because it was very important to us that people could play together no matter where they're playing. It was going to be kind of a big undertaking, but Microsoft actually acquired a company called PlayFab about 4 or 5 years ago, and they specialize in multiplayer and network services, and they had done a lot of heavy lifting on providing us with the necessary tools to support cross-play across Epic and Steam, because now that's a thing that I think Microsoft as a company wants to do is broaden what Xbox Live is and how you can play with other people on Xbox Live, even on
Brogan
PC and on Steam and Epic.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff we had to do to make it work, but I think it was really valuable to be part of such a large family of games. And also, not to mention the Coalition, who released Gears, being another Xbox game studio, had already kind of gone through a lot of these challenges, and were instrumental in giving us advice on kind of overcoming some of the hurdles that we had.
So we just watched a Dev Diary video that was about all the graphical improvements that went into the game. Mm-hmm. And one question that we get from the audience a lot whenever we're talking about graphical improvements is, okay, so you added all this stuff. Does that mean that the frame rate's going to be like 15 frames a second the entire time? Mm-hmm. But that's not the case, right? Like how did we approach that? whole problem?
I mean, I think it's especially for a game like State of Decay that already had been released, and we're kind of it's an update rather than a new game, right? It's important for us that we don't make the experience bad for our, people who have been playing the game, up to this. We can't just kind of change the minimum requirements and push it under the rug, because everybody who would be upgrading would have a bad experience. And so when you look at that, it's always it's kind of a push and pull. We have a very talented graphics engineer on our team who joined in the past, I think, year.
I think so, yeah.
Who's been heavily involved with Juggernaut and all the graphical improvements. And as a part of that, it was always kind of this evaluation of like, what do we need to make faster so that we can spend some time, because from a technical perspective, you think of a single frame of the game, how long it takes to draw that, how long it takes to simulate the AI, how long it takes to do all the different things that have to happen every frame in your game. And when you want to, invest in maybe better graphics in certain ways, that might mean that now trees take, a quarter of a millisecond longer to render or something like that. And what we kind of kept an eye on then is like, how can we get a quarter of a millisecond back from somewhere else? And so it's kind of a trade-off, is like going in and looking at how we maybe did something a little bit inefficiently before and being like, okay, we can actually do this more efficiently, and then we have more time in the same frame to do gorgeous new things that we didn't do before.
Yeah, so basically, people can expect to see, these same graphical improvements, but the game is actually performing as well, if not better.
Yeah.
Through, you can go to these places. Now we've got volumetric fog, and now we've got, shadows being handled in different fancy ways. You can check out our old video to hear Matt Hanniger explain that stuff much better than I do. But but then the game just still plays the same way it always has. It just looks better.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised that on lower graphical settings, it might actually play better than it used to, because the savings that we got are, a lot of them are across the board. So we've just gotten some savings, and if you're on a lower graphical setting and you're turning off things that might be more expensive, you still have the same savings from the cheaper from the others components to the graphical rendering. So you might actually have a better frame rate on lower settings than you used to.
We used the opportunity to go back and optimize all of the existing props too, so they're all running better. So all the maps are going to benefit from that.
And it's a lot of work that, a lot of collaboration up and down the team and all the different disciplines to make that happen, because there's artists who are working on that, tech artists working on that, coders working on that. And unrelated, we're ready to do another giveaway. So
Yes.
Let me just throw this up. So we've got another Xbox One controller. This one is the Midnight Forces controller. It's pretty and blue. And so if you want to get one of these,
Oh my.
there's a few different things you got to do. First of all, type that into your browser, because there's some rules. But more importantly, be on Mixer. So if you're watching us on Twitch right now, you got to get over to Mixer if you want to get involved in this stuff. Be in the US, because there's rules that means we can only ship stuff like this to you if you're in the US. And then also, whenever the bot prompts you to do it in the chat, type !fraffle, because that's a word. So do that, and you might get a chance to get this sucker. And then soon afterwards, we're also going to be giving away another one of these Xbox Game Pass 6-month memberships. So with that out of the way, let's see what's going on in the game again. What are you doing?
Yeah, Brant.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
You're having an incredible shotgun.
I'm just trying to make my base the most wonderful place ever, and we're about to get sieged.
Oh,
So-
sweet.
Did we review the rules that are on your front door?
Is one of them no sieges? Oh, yeah.
Put weapons away, approach slowly, get to the point, have a nice day. That's for that's for people who are visiting.
Are you having a nice day?
I'm about to. One thing that a lot of people haven't seen yet is this is the real forest management watchtower experience. So it was turned into a tourist trap, and then it was closed because of the zombie apocalypse, of course, and then we will trade. So this was an established base before people got, obviously, they moved on or maybe got eaten. I'm going to stand here and fight zombies because it is now.
Oh, I did briefly see some debate or betting pool going in Discord about what color my nails were going to be, because I announced that I was going to be AFK on Discord for a little bit to eat lunch and paint my nails before the show. And, I feel like I clearly have to settle this matter for everyone. And
Well,
so,
do you want to get close to the camera there? There we go. Whoa! Beautiful violet color.
So, if you know me well, your options were probably going to be teal or purple, because that's usually what I paint my nails, unless there's a special occasion. So, purple it is today.
Awesome. So we talked about, we mentioned the fact that, that you transitioned from being an individual contributor. Like earlier times when we've had you on the stream, you've often been talking about systems you worked on and stuff because you were, actually typing most of the code into a lot of these parts of the game. That was a terrible way to describe it. But anyway, now you're a technical director. How is your job different when you're is it just the same but bigger, or what's up?
It's an interesting question, and I think as a studio, one we're still working on. I think that is a way to put it. I think that there's a lot of this is up to me to define what I want that role to be. I try to be kind of support staff for all of the programmers, helping them all be their best and make their jobs as easy as possible. I make a lot of calls on like, hey, do we think it's worth doing this work, or is it too risky? If we're going to do a hot fix, how much risk is it to do this thing in this hot fix? And are we willing to take on the possibility that we're making things worse before we push this? So really, like, I'm the person to blame for everything that's technically wrong with our game. I think
Blame Jürgen.
Just throw me right under that bus. But also, I think that I do some programming still. I try to focus my programming on things that aren't going to be critical path because I have all these other responsibilities. I want to make sure that I have time to deal with, if a programmer comes to me and says that, they need help with this thing, or they're wondering how to solve this problem or whatever, I want to be available for that. That's important to me, that I'm around for that. So I don't want to be critical path on too many things, so that people are waiting on me to finish some work before they can do whatever they want to do. So building services or building improvements to the workflow for our programmers, dealing with kind of urgent issues when like a bug comes up right now. Like what I've done today, for example, is I look at our crash reports and I try to see has any new issues come up with Juggernaut that we didn't see in our internal testing that only our users are experiencing, and how do we prioritize those, and which ones of those do we want to include in any potential hot fixes we will do, and things like that. I've done a little bit of tech support on our Discord, but that's just because I like talking to our community. Oh, it got gnarly all of a sudden, Brant.
Because I threw a smoke grenade, which threw off the scent.
Oh, you
nice.
ran into it.
It's quietly on fire now.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's a pretty broad spectrum of responsibilities. At the end of the day, just being available as a resource for other people, be it a producer or a designer, having some question about some technical thing they don't know who to talk to, or don't know what the risk involved is in doing something, or want to get a rough estimate of like how much time is it going to take us to do this. Is like one person takes 2 hours and does a thing, or is it like we need a team to go together and work on this thing? Yeah, so it goes all over the place.
Yeah, I've been basically trying to looking to Jürgen as an example, as I've been trying to figure out how to be the design director of this game, because initially I was very, very uncomfortable with that title. In fact, it was Jürgen who kept pushing me to try to be one instead of just hiding behind other people. But yeah, it's a really similar thing where it's like I'm trying to actually divest myself of as much responsibility for actually implementing things on the ground, so that I can sort of like play the game a lot more, have and sort of provide people with sort of an opportunity to like I'll notice if one team is working on something that impacts something that's going on in the other team, and we make sure that they don't actually get in each other's way as far as keeping the design of the game consistent, that sort of thing.
He cackles uncontrollably from his throne of uncontested power.
See, that cackle
Just like
right
that.
there.
Just like that.
Oh my god.
But just like you, I also I try to still keep my hand in some of the implementation. Like just recently, somebody from the UK tweeted that they had found a character with the nickname Slag, a female character with the nickname Slag.
Not good.
That was a character. That was somebody who I think the original trait that gave that nickname was somebody who was sculpting metal, and they might have the metalworker trait. And so Slag, it's a metalworking term, whatever. I just threw that in there without realizing that was actually a really negatively connoted word in the UK. And so I got to go in and remove and replace that nickname. So I'm still working on the game, hands-on, mostly just atoning for my past mistakes. I
think it's important, right? Like I've never been, I've mostly not been a specialist when it comes to programming. Like I'm more of a generalist, and so I have had my hands in so many systems in our game. Like you talked about, like that I've worked on a lot of systems in the past. Some of them like I've authored from the ground up, but I've also just been involved in bug fixes pretty much across the entire game. And that's one of the skills that I try to foster in myself, is that kind of like having that overarching view of what our game is and where code lives and what systems are responsible for which part of it, so that when people have questions, I don't necessarily need to be able to answer them, but I can give them a coarse-grained kind of general sense of what it is, and then direct them to the right person. Because I think that like if I ever lose touch with the code completely, then my skills, like, I'm not valuable anymore. So I try to do code reviews. I try to look at everybody's work, even though I'm not doing as much of it as I used to.
Yeah, and similarly, I try to pay a lot of attention to sort of what's going on in each of the strike teams, so that if anybody has a question about what's going on anywhere on the team, I feel like it's my responsibility to be able to answer their questions.
Yeah.
And so that means just a lot of time spent just being a fly on the wall in meetings, to the degree that it's possible for me to be a fly on a wall without just interjecting constantly.
It's a skill too.
Yeah, exactly.
I have just been asked to take an unknown, untested zombie compound.
Do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Just ingest something that was
Yeah.
handed to you by a stranger.
Go ahead, I promise you. Let's see. Go to Fated Workshop, and I have to fight a Juggernaut. Or I can take one down. Or I can use the bottle of scent block. What's the worst that can happen? Okay.
Just a little bit of infection.
Yep, here we
just
go.
a little bit.
Yes, it spreads so well.
I just rub it on your skin.
Oh, why do
Why
I...
are there flies?
Oh,
It's, what's the word for
Ointment?
No, the theory that flies were just produced by rotten flesh. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the wrong theory before people actually understood the life cycle
Sorry,
of the fly.
it's been a long time since the Middle Ages.
I know, but you learn about it
You're
in
really
science
dating
class.
yourself right now.
I know, right? Yes.
Whoa, where does
exactly.
he want me to go? Wow, way down the hill.
But anyway, I assume you brought me here to talk about the multi-platform stuff.
Oh
and
yeah,
the new
Oh.
storefronts.
among anything else. I mean,
Hold on. Brogan? It's okay.
Yeah, I think that like there's multiplayer is obviously I think was one of the biggest hurdles we had. I think we've switched everyone who doesn't play on Xbox is playing a completely new game than they were yesterday, because all of the Windows Store builds were replaced completely. We were using an old framework called Universal Windows Platform, and we replaced it all with something that is much more similar across Xbox, or sorry, not Xbox, Epic, Steam, and the Microsoft Store, so that it's easier for us to maintain and keep things working and fix the same bug only once.
And actually, yeah, we should definitely point out too that if somebody has got the original Windows version of the game and they want to update, we've actually got a link that they can follow, or like a URL they can type in. We got the full instructions.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like these instructions are more complicated than we would like. We understand that it's not an ideal flow, but we think that the payoff is worth it in the end for customers. The support's going to be better, the platform's going to work better this way, and it's going to be. This is the only feasible way for us to give you multiplayer with people on Steam and Epic, and I don't think anyone wants to be left behind, and so go through a couple extra hoops, upgrade your version of the Windows install of State of Decay and 2, and everything's going to be dandy after that. But yeah, I think that we were really excited to kind of just expand our reach to these new platforms and to be able to have more customers play the game, and making Daybreak available to more people, and then also introducing more people to the game, and then all of them be able to play together means that we're hoping that Daybreak is going to see lots more attention, and people are going to have a fun time playing together because there's now a bigger audience that they can reach. So
And it's really fun to see, especially with our expansion into Steam. Particularly, we're seeing a lot of people coming from parts of the world that didn't have a huge penetration of Xboxes.
Yeah.
Places like China and Russia and Germany where PC gaming, particularly fueled by Steam, is sort of the heart of the gaming culture there.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of folks joining us for the very first time, which is great.
No, we've gotten a lot of attention from Chinese users, and we decided to kind of, I'm going to admit a little bit late, that we were like, you know what, we're seeing so much traffic on our pre-order page for State of Decay 2 from China that we didn't expect to see at all. that we were like, maybe that was short-sighted of us, but so we were like, we want to invest in having a good translation of our game for Chinese users to expand our reach to that whole audience. And it's really exciting to see that, even though it's like 2 a.m. in China right now, or maybe it's 4 a.m.
A little later now,
but it's in the middle of the night, we still have, a really good chunk of our current players are from China.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. And so there is basically we have a sort of a limited localization for Chinese players at launch, and we're planning to continue to expand it over the next very short while to get basically. I think that right now it's the UI text that has been translated, and then we're going to move on to the dialogue and other parts. of the game.
My understanding is it's only the subtitles that we have not translated yet, because the subtitles are so much like. I mean,
so
we've
many
probably talked about this. There are so many lines of VO in our game, and so
and it's not just just the sheer number of lines. It's the fact that each line is spoken by 14 different voices, and we didn't just have them all say the same line.
Right.
We wrote the line separately for each of those 14 voices.
Yeah, we wanted to have them unique personalities for our voices, and it was really important. And so, there's just a lot of work involved, and the translation team has done an amazing job of turning this around quickly for us. And so I was really excited that we were able to provide, at least the bare bones Chinese translation right off the bat. But, in the coming period, I don't actually know what the timeline is. We're going to be hopefully shipping the rest of the
point of time.
translations.
So I should point out we've got a winner for the controller. So Jay Swint is going to be getting this. So congratulations, Jay Swint. And now that we've got a winner for the controller, we're going to maybe you'll prompt another one of these things for the Game Pass membership. So we only have like 5 more minutes with Jürgen, but while this is going on, same rules as before. Watch for the bot to tell you it's time, and we'll give away another Game Pass membership.
Do you need to flash that link for the rules again?
Well, so I don't think I need to flash it every single time, but I can. As long as it's on the video at some point. We fulfilled our legal requirements to show people the rules.
Okay.
But you do have to be on Mixer, you do have to be in the US, and we're sorry about that. At the same time that we are expanding the reach of our game into new territories, we're forced to contract the reach of our prizes. But that's legality for you. But we're looking forward to giving away even more stuff. We're going to keep giving away things for the next. It's a little more than an hour. We're going to keep streaming this game.
Even after we gave away all of Juggernaut, we're still going to keep giving stuff away.
Right? It's just
crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, if you already own State of Decay 2, the Juggernaut Edition is not a new thing to buy. The Juggernaut Edition is a free upgrade that you just get as an update. Jürgen already pointed out the fact that if you had the game on PC, there's some extra hoops you have to jump through, which are at this link right here, stateofdecay.com/upgrade. But if you had it on the Xbox, this thing just lands, and then you've got it.
Yep.
And if you already owned, so this comes with all the DLC and stuff like that. And if you already owned the DLC, or if you bought the original,
Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition of the game, thank you. Then you're gonna get a bunch of outfits.
Yeah.
So
we're
trying to lavish as many prizes on folks as we can.
Because we love you.
But I didn't even realize this until today, that if you have Xbox Live achievements in the game, and then you get the game on Steam, for whatever reason a person might want to do that, all of those achievements, you immediately get all those Steam achievements.
Yeah, we there were trade-offs from a technical perspective. I think ideally we would have wanted just to sync all the survivors and communities and everything and just share the save games. But since we're in a non-Microsoft storefront, a lot of the technology that allows us to do that in a robust manner isn't available. And so we tried to kind of find the sweet spot between a bad user experience and not transferring anything at all. And so there's a fair amount of things that transfer between your communities on Steam and Xbox, or Epic and Xbox, including your bounty progress and your achievements you've done, and your what else? Outfit unlocks, I think, transfer between the platforms. So we're doing our best to at least give you a lot of the stuff that you're used to on your Xbox on the Steam version of the game as well. And it's not a one-time thing; they'll keep syncing. And so if you keep playing on Steam, you'll have your new outfits from Steam on Xbox and vice versa. And we're trying to make that a good experience. So where are you driving at right now?
I'm driving through sort of the
the logging.
The modern wasteland, the clear cutting.
Yeah.
This is our our sort of environmental statement. But it's also highlighting the fact that we have a lot more of these big open vistas, which is pretty new to State of Decay for sure.
It's funny, like we've been playing the pre-order version of the game the pre-release version of the game for a while, being in development. So going back and playing the normal version of the game has been kind of jarring for me. But I'm so glad that everybody gets to experience this. Even some of the subtle things, like the portraits that you see on the side of the screen here. It's like the fact that we just kind of reframed and changed the posture a little bit and did better lighting on it. It just makes everything pop, and it just feels it's just such a nice, solid improvement.
So I think we're running out of time with Jürgen. So let's just throw his name tag up on the screen again and say goodbye. Thank you so much, Jürgen, by the way, for coming in here, explaining a lot of this stuff. You have a level of expertise in a lot of these subjects that I just can't even touch, and so I appreciate having you in here to explain things to the players.
I mean, vice versa. That's why we work together, right?
That's why we're a team. It's so beautiful. So Brogan, do you want to say goodbye before we transition to the next video?
See ya.
All right. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll watch a video and we'll grab our next guest in just a second.
Ninja Smoke.
Good timing.
The reason why the Juggernaut Edition was the right time to redo the beginning of the game is because we're adding a new map. The original tutorial was really good at teaching players the controls, how to move your character, how to get around in the world, but it wasn't really focused on the concepts. It wasn't really focused on, why you're here in the first place, what survival means in the world of State of Decay 2.
The game's so dynamic and missions kind of pop up and are kind of randomly generated. It's hard to tell what is the actual main story and the main long-term goals of the game. And I think that was a problem we had originally, as a lot of people didn't even realize that there were long-term missions and main missions that you could do to actually finish the game.
Our user research team went through and interviewed a lot of new players and tried to figure out what made the difference between somebody who left the game early versus somebody who wanted to stick around for the long haul. And it turned out that the kinds of people who wanted to stick around were people who came into this game with a strategy. They already knew what they wanted to get out of the experience. And when they came in, they took charge of their community and they acted like leaders. And we're like, is there a way that we can teach new players that that's what this game is about, that it's about being the leader of a new community?
Analytics can't tell you why there's a drop-off, but they can help you pinpoint where something is kind of going wrong. And so part of the on-ramp team's goal was to make that drop-off stop happening. We wanted to make sure that players were getting in the game, learning what they needed to learn, and getting attached and engaged so that they would continue to play.
There's a lot to interact with. There's a lot to manage in your base with your survivors, everything from morale to your consumables. And when somebody dies, they're gone for good. So teaching them all of that stuff without it feeling super brutal is very important.
Coming back to it again after the game's been out in the wild for years and players have been playing it, you've gotten a lot of feedback, we've done user research studies, we've played the game ourselves a ton. Suddenly, we come in with a lot more information and we can make better decisions about how to frame the game for people, how to help them understand what this experience is really about. The team was really enthusiastic to get back into the tutorial. As soon as we introduced this idea, they filled an entire whiteboard and this massive document with all this stuff we wanted to teach. And then we went through it step by step to figure out, okay, what is the core? What is it we're trying to get across to players? What do they need to understand what's fun about State of Decay 2? Well, welcome back. Here is Eric Anderson, software engineer.
Hello.
And
how's it going?
Eric is one of the software engineers that was working on the on-ramp team, so you're creating sort of the new player experience.
Yep,
that
is correct.
You saw him there in that video as an expert.
Apparently, yes. Obviously.
Well, let's hop into gameplay real quick, and we'll catch up with what we're doing there, and yeah. So we've got one of our giveaways ongoing right now for the Game Pass membership, and we are starting the third hour of this massive stream, probably the biggest stream we have ever done. When we did we do another marathon stream at release? Brant, do you remember what we did? It was like 2 years ago. I don't remember.
Not this long.
This might be the longest stream we've done.
We did a stream, but we didn't do a marathon stream. I'm already tired. I'm going to go to bed.
So Eric, we had a lot of ideas when we first went into the on-ramp team about what we were going to do to try to make the game work for new players. And both of us, you and I are both, I think, big proponents of just wanting to make sweeping changes.
Ambitious.
Yeah, we're very ambitious
That's a
people.
nice way to say it.
Yeah, and having both of us on the team, we were like, just like, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do that? But in the end, we ended up just needing to focus a lot of our efforts on just smoothing out just the introduction of all these new mechanics to brand new players, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, because you have all these ideas like, oh, this should only take that amount of time, and like this should only take that amount of time. You're like, we can do all this, and then when you actually get into it, everything takes so much longer than you anticipated that you just realize you have to be a lot more realistic with your expectations.
Like, I think, so one of the things that, for instance, we decided we wanted to do up front was let players who are brand new to the game not force them to go into the base screen immediately and be able to do more stuff just by walking up to a base. And so you ended up spending the first few weeks of that process just making it possible to check yourself physically into a facility.
Like that's exactly one of those things where it sounds like such a small task. We're like, oh, we should just let them check themselves in the infirmary, and it's not going to be a big deal. But then when you actually get down to the nitty gritty of it, everything kind of balloons out. It's like the initial thing might be really quick. You're like, oh, we got it up and running, and then you just see all the edge cases and all the problems. And like I know we encountered that with the infirmary, checking yourself in. It was like, oh, it's not clear to people what they're doing, because we go to the community screen and they're like, okay, I switched screens. Why did we do that?
Why am I here? What's going on?
And so, then there's all these things. Then you're like, okay, now we have to address that. And like, you do piece by piece, trying to like add things into like, does this make it clearer? And they're like, no, not quite still. Yeah. So it's everything it just explodes and takes so much longer.
But one of the nice things about supporting a game this long after release is that now, instead of basically crunching really hard for some really hard deadline that we can't move, we kind of could step back and actually spend the time to do things like this. Like, we never could have created that check-in flow when we were originally releasing the game. That was just off the table.
Oh, yeah.
But now we actually could spend the time, right?
And we may have, but we never would have known that there was a problem with it, because we didn't have like the time or the resources to do, like, we did UR testing this time. So like, we got things up and running, and then we were able to get in front of people and then see how they play it, and you could see where they get caught, which is something we just didn't have as much access to before, I think. And time.
Explain what UR testing is, actually, because I think a lot of the audience doesn't know.
User research testing is kind of where you bring I don't kind of not necessarily fans, but some random players that are kind of selected based on just you've got criteria.
Their interests, right? Like the kinds of games they like to play.
You make sure that like their tastes overlap with your kind of game. But people who haven't played the game before, or at least, especially in our case, people who haven't played the game before, and get them in, and then have them kind of run through part of the game, and then someone, in our case, like someone from Microsoft, kind of watches them and walks them through it, asks them questions as they do it, kind of sees how they play, what kind of things they do, what choices they make, where they get caught up, where they get confused.
And we record videos of them playing, and we take tons and tons of notes, generate a ton of tasks for ourselves.
Yeah, and then trying to see with all the people that we observe, like, what are the trends, where is everyone getting caught up, a lot of that stuff. So that is something we didn't get as much of when we were originally launching. And that for this on-ramp, we were trying to do. We were very aware of, we need to do this as early as possible.
Because you get completely different feedback from professional full-time testers than you get from people off the street. Because it's like the professional full-time testers will find every little glitch and edge case that could possibly be wrong with your game, but they won't necessarily be able to give you feedback on what a new player will experience, because they've played your game more than anyone else in the studio has.
They don't. They're so used to the game, they know it so well that they don't know what people wouldn't know. Because they know everything.
You can't just manufacture ignorance. You can try. You can try to imagine that you don't know things, but you can't really not know things.
Oh yeah, I had that constantly going through this. We're like, oh, we think they're gonna get caught up here. I don't think this is gonna be clear to them. And the things that actually end up being unclear are just these little things you're like, oh, I never would have guessed that would have been a problem for most people who had never played the game before. So
did we miss announcing a winner?
No, we were just about to. I'm holding the Game Pass thing right now. So we do have a winner for that Game Pass membership we were giving out. It's going to Arthurian64.
Congrats.
So congrats, Arthurian. In just a couple minutes, we'll do another giveaway of yet another awesome piece of hardware. So there were several new, sort of new features that we added to support new players in the on-ramp. So it wasn't just being able to check yourself into an infirmary. I know, Jeff Solt had to spend a crazy amount of time adding new dialogue boxes to every single menu in the game.
That was, yeah. It's funny because, it seems like such a duh thing, but now, when on the on-ramp team, one of the things we were doing new that we had never done before is tutorialize the menus. Really,
yeah. We had come up with we had these little tutorial messages that could appear at the bottom of the screen during gameplay to remind you to dodge and stuff like that. But whenever there was one of those big full screen menus up, we couldn't just say while the while the base screen is up, show some text. We were completely unable to do that.
Yeah.
And it was a big job.
Or to just say hey, go look at this menu, and then detect they've looked at the menu.
Right.
So you can move on with the tutorial mission. Just having objectives to know that a specific menu has opened or closed. It's it was shocking that we didn't have this. I guess we never had called for it before. It's that just never came up.
The thing that actually honestly impresses me is the folks that were assigned to originally build our first version of the on-ramp, the original starter scenario that came after the tutorial, they built that with no tools. They did not have the ability to detect whether you had opened a menu or not. They didn't have the ability to just put text on the screen while a menu was up. And somehow people managed to learn to play this game. And so kudos to all of you who've been playing the game. We had so few options for teaching you how to do it, and you figured it out. Now we're hoping that the next generation of players who come in will have an easier time sort of learning how things work.
Yeah, definitely. This game has so many systems and so many moving pieces that it's probably impossible to teach everything in a tutorial. To make it a reasonable, it'd probably have to be a 6-hour tutorial to actually do absolutely everything.
Yeah, a big part of the challenge of coming up with a tutorial sequence is figuring out what not to include. What's okay not to include, because you can always poke holes in and be like, well, why aren't you teaching this? Why aren't we teaching that? Why aren't we teaching that? But at some point, you just got to okay, players are smart. They'll figure out some of it. If they're just in a tutorial for 6 straight hours, they'll just never play the game.
That's the other thing too, because you want to get players into the game and let them, go make their own choices and kind of. That is the game. Is them kind of defining their own goals and making their own choices, and how would you survive is the old tagline, and so. You at some point you gotta let them just do that.
Yeah.
And so you don't want a 6-hour tutorial. So it's where to draw that line, and be okay, we taught them enough. I think they can figure out the rest.
Wow,
this
is a smorgasbord.
There's still so much we can do, but it's just, it's unreasonable.
We're learning as we go too, right? Nobody has all the answers, and our game has some really interesting challenges for development. Because it is so complicated in some places.
There's so many complex interacting systems that we learn how these things complement each other after we've built them. We can't really plan ahead to all the different complicated interactions all these systems are going to have. We sort of imagine how it's going to be, but then we discover it. And a lot of times, one of the things that was great about coming back and redoing the new user experience was the fact that we had actually been playing the game for a year and a half. And we knew more about what it's like to play the game and what you actually need to learn.
Yeah, even as an employee who's been working on the game for a long time, there's still things that I'm learning on the game where it's I did not realize that functioned like that at all. After 4 years of playing the game, there's still little things. It's just there's so many little.
Jeffrey's holding something.
Yes, I am. So we're ready to do another giveaway. So you remember these headsets we were talking about back when we had Kevin here? We've got another one actually. We have 2. So we're giving away another one now. Let me really quickly just run folks through the rules again. So first off, there's this URL. It's got a bunch of rules at it. I can't read them all, so you just can go there if you care. But if you're on Mixer, you can participate. If you're you got to be in the U.S. so that we can ship this to you. There's legalities involved. Sorry about that. We're in the U.S. and so we can only ship this stuff to folks who are in the U.S. But if you're on Mixer and you see the bot tell you that it's time, type Fraffle! ! Fraffle, which is a word. Type that into the chat whenever you're prompted, and you can be entered to potentially win one of these headsets. I use a headset like this at home. I think it's great. It's been really helpful for me because I got a really weird oddball setup, but I use it at home, and it's awesome because the kids don't have to hear all the zombies exploding and heads and all the cursing in our game. So enjoy. So we have a request for folks to see the sort of the jackets and the hat that we're giving away to folks who are sort of long-term players of the game. Whenever you get the opportunity,
Once I
let's
get
check that
back to
out.
base and I'm relatively safe.
So I'm pretty sure we're playing on an account that already owns that stuff, and so we should have it.
I've already put it on on one of them, so I know we have it.
All right, cool.
This is an in-game outfit we're giving away?
Yeah, so this is for people who bought the Ultimate Edition, or who bought Heartland, or who bought Daybreak.
Oh, okay.
Because all that stuff is now free. We wanted to make sure that folks who were early adopters and who spent the money and who bought that stuff get acknowledged for how grateful we are that they supported us early on.
Oh, okay.
So they get to have some outfits to put on their characters that nobody else will ever get to have.
I want to see them.
Yeah, totally. So one of the reasons that I actually wanted to have Eric on, because even though we can't talk about the details about this, Eric is not just a software engineer. Right now, he is also a strike team lead on a brand new set of things that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think is really important for people to realize is that Juggernaut is not the end of State of Decay. It's not like this is our swan song. We're just going out with a bang. Like, we're still supporting this game.
Oh yeah.
All of us are still working.
I mean, I think we have multiple teams working still on the State of Decay.
I'm going to hand this over to you. Sorry about the pre-warmed controller. I have to deal with my child.
Let's go. Yeah, if you don't mind, playing around while we talk. So we've got these.
Look at the.
Oh yeah, the jackets. You can probably if you're at home right now, you can discover the jackets. So yeah, just hit the Y button, and I think they're all called Juggernauts something.
All right,
I'm not actually sure where they're Juggernaut jacket.
I think it's even favorited.
Okay, so I think we haven't actually. This account hasn't unlocked all of them. Oh, actually, and you can't. Let me move over to the side so that we can actually see what's going on. So we've got 2 of the Juggernaut jackets unlocked.
Okay.
Look at these. So it's stuff on. There's a lot of stuff on the back too.
Jug hug.
Jug hug. Yeah. Juggernaut.
Oh, I like that. I like that back.
And I think there's also a hat actually you can put on the characters. What is this? What does this have in the back though? Let's rotate the character around. This one. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. I can't actually quite read. I forgot what that says.
Fringe.
I can't read it.
I don't think it says anything on the back.
Okay. Cool. But then there is. I think there's also a hat, but we might not have unlocked it. I think this account.
A mask. Wait.
That's
just Juggernaut mask.
So I think that this account didn't have the Ultimate Edition. I think that's probably what we're missing. But you can see it's like this account has got some of the DLC, but not all of it. And so we've got some of the jackets and not all of them. And we also you also get a big dose of prestige, which is our sort of our big most powerful currency. So if you already own the game and you just got Juggernaut, check it out. You got some free stuff, and we really appreciate all of the the early investment that you folks made.
Yes, yeah, and the Shaggy Jack, which we don't have unlocked yet.
Yes, the Shaggy jacket is the best. It says it's shaggin' time on the back, which I will just leave to our British viewers to interpret. I've already had to remove one.
I don't think you have to be British to understand that.
Not since Austin Powers.
Yeah, that's true. Austin Powers brought that across the pond. But yeah, I was already talking earlier with Jürgen about the fact that I accidentally let a piece of British slang
now that you touched my controller.
Spread this filth.
We've got hand sanitizer.
Don't
all over
say
this
that.
office.
People break into the office to get it.
Yeah.
The gold of the new economy.
Lisa saw ahead. She saw the future. She got this stuff earlier than anybody else did.
We've always had this around the office. It's always been here.
We just wasn't out on every single desk.
Yeah, it wasn't on every single
Okay,
tip.
well, there you go. But yeah, so we've got a bunch of hand sanitizer, because for those of you who don't know, we're in Seattle, and Seattle is one of the places that is in the U.S. that is most locked down in response to the coronavirus. So all the folks that are in the office today, usually all these people are working from home, and they all very kindly have braved the quarantine zone and come out here to join us, and we're all just giving each other coronavirus here in the office for your entertainment. Are you not entertained? So
it's crazy out here. It's dead. It's dead out here right now.
We made sure to go to some of our favorite restaurants just so they have any customers.
Yeah, I actually have been eating like more meals out. Like I take them to go, but I order more meals now because my favorite restaurants, I don't want them to close.
Yeah, one thing that we've heard is a good idea is getting gift cards and things from restaurants that you like, so that basically, even though if you don't want to eat at a restaurant right now, you can at least give them some money so they can stay open, and then you can use it later on, when you're actually hungry. Okay, it looks like we've actually got a winner for that headset. So Double Bow 7 is going to be getting one of these headsets. So congratulations. This thing is a great piece of hardware. I'm really happy for mine. So congrats, 007. And we're going to be actually. So since we've got a winner for that one, we should probably kick off the Game Pass giveaway. So same rules as before, and whenever folks in the chat are ready to kick off the bot, you can type !Fraffle. If you're on Mixer, if you're in the US, do that, and you can get this lovely 6-month Game Pass membership. So same rules as always. And with that said, so you're working on a secret team. We can't really talk about what you're doing, but do you want to talk a little bit about sort of the way that you approach the question of like what to do next? Like we've added all these features for Juggernaut. Some of them were big, like with the map and the heavy weapons were hotly contested. I mean, not contested, hotly requested features. Not contested, hotly requested features on our wish list. There's a whole bunch of that stuff coming in, but then what do we do next?
I mean that's a hard question because there's a lot of different audiences to address. I think this is the tricky thing because certain updates we focus on kind of the experienced players who like have been playing it for a while and they have requests, things that they know that they want. But then with the on ramp, it was like, okay, we're trying to do stuff for the new players and whatnot. So it's always kind of a question of balancing all the different audiences. And also just like, as us, what drives us crazy? We've been like here the longest, playing the game the longest, and there's still certain things, I think, that still drive us crazy. And we're like, okay, now we actually have some time. Let's take a step back. And all the things that kind of around launch, we kind of wrote off. We're like, oh, we got to cut off what we're doing. We can take a step back and be like, okay, can we relook at some of these things that have been here for a while that we know we're not quite happy with? But a lot of it comes like looking at like user feedback, looking at the forums, looking at user reviews, professional reviews, all that stuff, and trying to find that Venn diagram of like everything. It's like, okay, what does the professional reviews say? What do the user reviews say? What do we feel? And what do like the forums and Reddit and whatnot?
The wish list on support.stateofdecay.com.
What are we seeing in all of those pop up constantly? Like those are kind of things that I think we want to address. Essentially that, and there's other like little quality of life things that's like, oh, that's actually like a 5-minute fix. We should just do it. It's so easy.
And it's always a little bit unpredictable because it's hard until you actually dig into the code. It's hard to know the difference between what's going to be easy and what's going to be hard sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of a lot of requests from people who are like, well, why don't you just do this? It would be so easy.
I think that's the hardest part about game dev is the disconnect between the audience and and being the dev and knowing how things are working under the hood. And why don't you just do this? Because everything is just so much more complicated than you realize. Because of the way systems are built. Because when you originally build things, you have a certain set of expectations or goals. Like we need the system to be able to do this.
And no more.
Or like you can't really fathom where you're gonna go in the future a lot of the time. You can try to guess, but you're usually gonna be wrong. Like you can be like, oh, we have to be able to account for this thing if we want to do this in the future. Usually that ends up not being what you need to do.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of times it's like, oh, why don't you just do this thing? It's like, well, we'd have to redo the whole system really to get that functional. And it is it worth like multiple months investment for like this one feature versus also possibly dropping 5 other things.
The 5 other things we could have done with that time, and that so the opportunity cost calculation is one of the big important parts of it. Is like, sure, we could do almost anything really. There's a few things we literally could not do, but most things we could do if we decided to devote the time to it. But how do we weigh that against the 10 other things we could do at that same amount of time, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it's definitely this cost to benefit ratio that you kind of have to look at and balance and be like, okay, what is the most value for the investment we're going to put into it? What's going to be easy but also have a huge impact? Because like anything you're spending time on, you're dropping other things to do. We only have so many people. We're a relatively small studio, so we have to be very judicious about what we actually tackle.
I think a good example of a feature like that is I think I got a request from somebody, I think it was on Twitter recently, maybe it was on Facebook, asking for the ability to, like when you're making a consumable at the base screen, to have it not close the screen so you can just make multiple consumables, just hammer the button and make them again and again and again and again. But we brought that up like during a past effort to sort of during a past patch we talked about doing that. but the programmer that we were working with at the time, Peter, was like, I would have to seriously reauthor that entire screen from the ground up in order to make it possible to not close that submenu when you select that action.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like, don't close it. Sounds so easy, but he would have to actually build the entire thing from scratch.
Just because of how complex because there's a lot of different pieces that are interacting in certain ways.
Yeah.
And
there's problems we didn't solve. When that menu closes, that means we don't have to show the thing getting built. And there's a lot of other stuff. We would have to create new things from scratch just to sort of paper over that moment, all the sort of the gaps in that experience.
I'm going to jump it. I'm going to jump it.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
You're going to fall it. You're
landed
it.
Good. Landed it, kind of.
I think we should all hold up cards and say 10.
Landed
10,
it.
10, 10, 10, 10.
Okay, I'm going to use the stuck command.
Should let everybody know about the stuck command, and I should move over to the side so we can see
That's kind
what's
of why
going
I
on.
did it, actually.
Yeah. So,
I had a sinister plan.
So actually, we keep mentioning new players and information that would be valuable for new players. We should point out that at stateofdecay.com/player-guide, there's a new player guide for new folks to go to our website and see some. Basically, we had one of our greatest experts in the game, Joe Swarner, who is not only an experienced player of the game himself, but he's the guy who fields all of the concerns that come up from our audience at our support site,
And
so
has created the handy guides.
Yeah. So he's got this player guide here, and also on our YouTube channel, there's a bunch of new videos that he's created to sort of walk through visually explaining parts of the game. We knew we had a bunch of new players who were going to be coming in as a result of the Steam release and the Epic Store release, and so we wanted to make sure that they had every tool they had, not just the on-ramp team, with Leah and Eric building new content at the beginning of the game, but also external stuff. Just anything we could provide, we wanted to give folks. So, what are you most excited about that is coming into the Juggernaut Edition?
Honestly, I mean, I thought it was going to be the map, but now that I've spent some more time with the heavy weapons, I think I mentioned this to you. Now that I've gotten used, because it's a little trickier to use at first because you have to be more patient. But honestly, now that I've gotten used to how they work, I really like the heavy weapons.
Hitting 4 zombies at once with one hit, it's
super
it's a feeling.
satisfying, and they're great for crowd control. And it's just like seeing the zombies backflip after you hit them.
Oh yeah! Oh, that is my favorite thing.
I love them.
It feels really good. Yeah, it's to the point where now the other day I was going to take on a plague heart. I spent all this time prepping, getting my explosives and everything ready. I had swapped characters to get rid of my fatigue, and I got to the plague heart and I started wailing on it. I realized I didn't bring my heavy weapon with me, and I'm like, now. And I just bailed. I'm not doing this with that. It just doesn't feel the same to me now. Yeah, now everything else just feels so much worse.
I
the heavy
love
weapons
the new
just,
weapons.
Yeah. I think I was using the drive shaft, I think it was.
I love the drive shaft club. It's one of my favorites.
But you have to have stamina stuff with you, or else you can get in trouble really fast.
So I should point out, we've got a winner for the Game Pass membership. It's going to, it's either Shark 1990 or maybe it's Shirk 1990. I can't quite tell. But some kind of shirky sound, 1990 is getting this. So congratulations, Shirk. We're going to have one more pair of giveaways in the next half hour, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be our biggest one. So stick around if you're still interested in winning some stuff from us. We are just so excited to be able to release this thing we've been working on for so long. We want to give away as many things as we can. I'm going to check on our next guest.
Is this in the starter still?
No, I didn't do the starter.
Oh, okay.
I just skipped past it. I'm just kind of standing here while these
You're
guys...
You're not gonna help or anything?
I just helped.
You're just watching.
I mean, these guys need to learn.
Oh, it's like a mama cat letting the kitten hunt for themselves.
Sure, I am the mama cat in this scenario.
I see drinks that make me very happy.
So tired. I'll take care of this guy. The tough
I like
one.
that army outfit you got.
Yeah, I picked it up I searched for it, found it. Okay, I didn't search for it. Oh.
It found you.
Hello. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Bring it.
Can you do it?
Come on. Yeah,
Oh, there
that's
you
why I
go.
bring a shotgun. I don't have to aim. Yeah, I'm a lifesaver. Let's do some business here. Freak in the house. Hello.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome.
So nice to see you.
Let's learn about this survivor. TV trivia.
Oh, super
I'm
helpful in the zombie apocalypse.
Medicine. Guess what
Oh,
I'm
there
going to
you
do? Hey, psst. These guys, TV trivia girl, she's not going to help you. We are survivors. Moses, why don't you come to our community? See ya.
And that is how you recruit people.
They take it so well.
Right.
They take it so well.
Like right in front of the other one.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, that's fine.
Oh, perfect.
I understand.
I'm going to celebrate by putting
on a
on
new
that
hat?
hat that I just stole. Where's my active? There we go.
Where's that new hat?
Oh, I'm getting eaten.
Oh, crap.
All good deeds get punished.
Got one more minute till it's time to switch to our next guest.
Okay, well, Eric, do you have anything to add to this discussion?
No, I'm just pumped to get home and play it. I've had so little time to actually like sit down with the finished product myself and do a long-term playthrough that I'm looking forward to actually having a chance to do that.
And that's one of the reasons why we put Eric in charge of one of our strike teams that is continuing to improve the game, is because he's such an avid player and he's got so many opinions of his own about how this game could be better. We wanted to harness that energy and pour it back into the game.
That's my new military. I'll go back to this menu and look at her again.
Is that your hat?
It's
Your
the hat.
That is,
military beanie?
well, that matches her outfit
my
so well.
Is this standard issue?
My
I
super
think?
special forces combat beanie.
Well-
What is up?
Well, with that, okay, he's fighting somebody else, but we got to say goodbye to Eric. So
Eric,
thank you so
bye.
much for coming in, Eric.
Ninja smoke.
It's good being.
Yeah, and you don't have to leave until after we start. So I'm going to show our new trailer that just landed. I don't know if everybody's seen this thing yet. So we're going to show that. Here it comes.
Listen, I don't know if you're out there, but if you can hear me, I've made my way to a new place. It feels different. The plague is spreading, and their numbers are growing. We need your help if you can make it here. We might just survive this world. Will I fall? Find your way here and start over. We'll have a better chance of survival together.
All right, welcome back. We've got ERIN Anderson, our lead producer,
Hello.
and we are here to celebrate.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, can I get in there? There we go.
Air drink.
So ERIN Anderson, a lot of the people who follow our stream regularly have met you already,
Yeah.
but you are the lead producer, and what does that mean? What do you do?
Lead producer means I'm like the conductor of the orchestra. So I don't know if you've seen an orchestra perform. They got the violins and all that, and Everybody here in the studio is a master of their instrument. So we got some violin players, we got some playing the flute, and they're all extremely talented. I think this way.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, they have left-handed and right-handed flutes? I don't even
so.
know.
They do. Yeah, they do. When you're watching the orchestra, though, they can't see the stage. So the conductor actually tells them when to end a note, make sure they're all in tempo, make sure they're still playing the same song, and make sure it's in tempo to what's going on the stage, because only the conductor can really see the overall grand vision all at once, because people are masters of their instruments. So that's what I do.
That is one of the best explanations of your job that I've ever heard. I'm glad that I asked you instead of trying to explain it myself.
Thank you.
But yeah, so you joined our team after the release of the original State of Decay 2, but while we were making DLC, and so by the time we got to the Juggernaut Edition, we had multiple different teams all working on different stuff. Some of them stuff that got released before Juggernaut, like the outfits update. Some of them very long term. And somebody had to keep all of those plates spinning all at once in the right tempo and in the right order and everything. And so that was your job. We finally actually hired another producer to take some of the pressure off you, because you had to basically keep all that stuff in your head or come up with tools to manage all that information.
Yep.
And we couldn't have done it without you. So
Thank you.
I can't drive off.
Yeah, I was really excited about all the features we produced for this. So I produced all the graphics updates, the new map, part of the heavy weapons, the making of all the heavy weapons, on-ramp.
And the challenges, the trader stuff too.
Oh yeah, the bounty, the bounty broker stuff. Keeping that going, you had the long-term Juggernaut stuff, but you also had to put out, an update every single month at the same time that all this other stuff was going on.
Yep.
And there's all this coordination that has to happen between, what are we devoting our QA resources to? What goes into this particular branch or build? What doesn't? And it's a production team that does that. And so you guys. It's easy to imagine the job that a lot of us do. It's harder to imagine when you're playing the game the job that the producers do. But I just really want people to understand how important your job is.
Yeah. This game doesn't get made the way it does without great production. So.
Yeah. People here are really, really talented, and when you get really talented people, they want to work on something for forever because they want it to be 100% perfect before anybody sees it, so they could work on a feature for years. So it's production's job to come in and be like, okay, well, we don't need these. Let's scope down so we can get something to our fans.
Exactly. So we were talking, Eric and I were talking about the fact that each of us wanted to do, 39 different things on the on-ramp team. And it was you sort of informing us about what our limits are that actually made it possible for us to focus and get the thing out that we actually got done. And actually, and your job isn't done yet. It's we haven't, we mentioned with several of the other guests we had on here that, this is, that we're continuing to work even after the original, the release of Juggernaut. This is not the swan song of our game. This isn't the Game of the Year edition that we drop in stores and run away to make something else, right?
Yeah, that's so true. We're not done with you all, and we hope you're not done with us. We're huge fans of our own game. We play it all the time ourselves, so there are still things that we want to do with it. A lot of the people you've seen today are working on other stuff as well, and we're going to have another update coming in April, so that'll be great. Yeah.
You guys heard it here first. So we have not announced it until just this moment, but Erin got special permission for us to be able to announce this today. So another update in April, and even that one's not going to be the last. Because that does not going to include any of the work that Eric or Susan is doing.
Oh, this is really bad.
So it just continues. It just never ends. And so we're this team is one of the best teams that I've ever been on, because not only did we ship a game that we were proud of 2 years ago, but we've gotten to keep working on it and keep expanding it and keep there aren't a lot of franchises that really get to do that for as long as we have. Usually sort of you release in a big way and then it drops off and you move on to do something else. But our audience has just has stuck around. They keep coming back. They keep playing the game long term, and they keep introducing it to their friends, and new people keep joining.
Yeah, and we've gotten lots of new opportunities as well, being with Microsoft, where we're financially able to support the game for you guys without having to ask you for a bunch of money and stuff like that. And that's something that we're really passionate about. So we're excited that we've got to do that, and that we can keep doing that.
Yeah, we're particularly excited about all of the people who play our game on Game Pass, because one of the reasons why we focus so much on the new player experience is partly because a lot of people are coming in from Steam and the Epic Store, but also partly because we know every single month we get thousands of new players coming in on Game Pass, and so we want those folks to be able to, because those folks are paying our bills. They keep paying every single month for this Game Pass membership, and that money goes to Microsoft, and it funds a lot of the development that we're doing here.
Yeah.
So we are real close to being able to start our next giveaway, probably 2 minutes away. It's going to be the best one. We saved the best one for Erin's guest spot because it's something that she and Brant have a special connection to. So just a couple of minutes. So she was the one who packed in that hoodie that I threw across the room earlier. She's the one who packed that in so that we could give it away to one very lucky person. And we've got something else we're going to give away. I'll just stick around because we got to talk about it in just about 2 minutes. So what are you most excited about for the Juggernaut Edition? I asked everybody this question.
Oh, man.
Is it hard to pick?
Yeah, it's really hard to pick because, I produce most of these teams, so I'm very ingrained in all the features, and there's so many cool things. I mean, there's lots of little tiny things that you'll notice and lots of giant things. Man, I think for me, obviously the map is one of my favorite because it's stunning, and there's so much, storytelling elements in it. I mean, there's little tiny places that you can visit and all of these little stories. The killer lawnmowers in the map really get to me. I think there's 3 locations on that map, if you can find them, where people have fought lawnmowers and lost, and that's one of my favorite parts.
So, and that's something, we didn't go and explore any of those moments when we were doing our tour of the map. And there's stuff, there's stuff that got a lot of time put into it. Beautiful artwork that went into our map that we have deliberately avoided showing you.
Yeah.
So folks who really love to explore the map, who love to find every special weapon case, who like to just explore every back corner, there is some stuff waiting for you. Yeah,
some really fun stuff.
Yeah, and I'd say after that, actually the VFX updates, specifically the updated gore, we're a zombie game. I'm a big fan of all the gore and blood and splash, and when we bumped those up, and then now when you hit a zombie, you get this huge splash of blood just, across the screen. It's amazing. It looks fantastic, and it feels real. It feels crunchier, like you feel like you're really hitting a zombie, and so I really like that.
I just love the combination of all these different skills people have, from the effects that come off that zombie, the movement of the zombie when you hit it, sort of the animation of your swing, the audio that comes off it. Like every single piece of that just sort of contributes to this one experience. Yes. Just that you get to then repeat again and again and again, and it changes a little bit each time. But yeah, it feels so good to fight these guys like that. Holy crap, right?
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, it's not great because I'm hurting. Look at my health. I am hurting so
Oh my
bad.
God,
Your gun is dead. Look at these bodies on the floor.
And I just got hit
You
by
got stamina though. Just run.
Well, I can't. I need.
Yeah, I think you're hurt enough that running's gonna be hard no matter what you do.
Where's the screamer? He's out
down to the south.
Is he out front?
I think the other direction.
Oh,
other direction. So while you're trying to solve that screamer problem, I want to announce. So here comes the big giveaway. So when you guys went to PAX East,
yes,
there was a special prize that was on display. Do you want me to share a picture of that right here?
It's an incredibly special prize.
What is that?
It. That is a Juggernaut Edition special themed Xbox One X.
How many of these exist in the world?
There was one.
There was one that we gave away as part of the Mixer promotion at PAX East.
Oh, so it's gone now?
It's gone.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's gone.
then what are we doing?
Then I don't know. Maybe we should get another. That'd be
You think
cool.
we should?
That'd be cool.
Okay, so have we commissioned another one, and we're about to give another Xbox like that out on this stream?
I think that would be something that we might do. That might be really cool.
Okay, so keep your eye on the chat because the way this works, actually flash some rules on the screen real quick. The way this works is you can participate in these raffles if you are on Mixer. If you're watching us on Mixer, you can participate. You got to be in the US for us to ship this stuff to you for legal reasons that we apologize for. And the thing that you have to type whenever you're prompted by the bot, when it's time to go, you type !fraffle because it's my favorite word now.
You need to get in on this one.
Yeah,
It's
so
stunning.
you really want to get in this one. I am very jealous of whoever gets this because I don't get to have
Same.
a Juggernaut Edition Xbox
You know what's really
One.
cool about this one? You can't see it in the picture, but on the side of the Xbox, you can see the little like top half from here up of the Juggernaut's face peeking out at you from the side of the Xbox.
I'm so dead.
Is it just watching you all
Yeah,
the
it's
time?
watching
I'm
you.
so dead.
Oh, okay. So we've completely lost track of what's going on in Brant's gameplay.
Everything's broken. Nothing's good in the world.
Oh, but you got a truck. You got a truck.
You got a
Everything's
truck.
fine.
I
You're
know,
fine.
Roll out, roll out.
Oh, he's going to rip your door off. He's going to rip your door off. Nope, you got him? Okay.
But I've got people to kill here still.
Just go regroup.
No, I need these these influence points because I want to switch bases and I'm like 50 away or something stupid.
Oh man, you're also like a breath away from death.
I got this. It's fine. This is fine.
I'm super excited about this Xbox. When Brant and I saw it at PAX East, because we commissioned it and everything, but we didn't see it in person until we got to Boston. Oh, stunning. Stunning.
It is gorgeous. I've seriously, I've never been more jealous of a prize. There's been a few prizes we've given away before that I've been really, really jealous of. I'm kind of jealous of that hoodie too. But we're gonna get our own hoodies, so it's gonna be okay. I'll live. It's fine. Our hoodies will say Dev on the chest, so that'll be okay.
This could be it.
Oh no.
Come on, Lucy. Get up.
No, you still got some max health left. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, look, it's like
your shovel's dying though.
That's okay. I'm fine with that.
Is that it?
Good
Are you good?
recovery. Good recovery.
Thanks for your help. I'm like, anytime.
So we've been playing. So this is a brand new save. We've just started, or a brand new community. We've been playing with it for 2 hours 45 minutes, and look at the shenanigans you have gotten into. Like this game ramps up into deadly danger so fast. We go no holds barred. At some point we might have to figure out a way to make an easier version of this game because it gets so hard so fast. But that's what I love about it, right? Like you just always feel like your life is seriously at risk.
I like that you can ramp it up yourself though, because like every time you kill a play card, it gets a little more challenging each time. And so if you're not quite ready, you can just wait and explore more before you
that's
do
true.
that. So if I'm feeling a little more, low key on my way through, I'll do that.
He almost got the feral with his door. It is so hard to hit ferals with cars. I feel like you were this
practically
close.
impossible.
I need those. I don't want to have to go all the way back to my base to get 10 more points because I want to get to the new base. Oh, come on.
Oh, nicely done though.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a sick drift.
Wow. I'm going to get that feral. Where's Johnny Feral? You think you're... Yeah!
Okay, seriously, Brant gives himself some crap, but he is one of the best players of this game that I've seen.
That's so hard.
It's so hard to hit ferals with cars.
Take
You
that.
made it look so easy.
Take that, feral. Okay, we are going to... you guys call it. Do we go to the truck stop or do we go to the warehouse?
Oh, good question. So we'll have to keep track on Mixer what people are saying.
Taking some votes in now.
Make sure you got 10 seconds to tell me whether it's warehouse or truck stop.
Our delay might actually be longer than 10 seconds.
You've got 30 seconds. Okay, a minute?
No.
People have been naming that feral that you killed. Somebody called it Daryl the Feral. Someone called it Will Feral. Okay, we got 4 warehouses, 5 warehouses, and 1 truck stop. I think
Warehouse.
People said warehouse.
I'm going to the warehouse.
We got a few people trying to say Rusty Rosie now, but it's too late. Warehouse already won.
Yeah.
Yep, too late.
Too late.
You guys are so slow.
Megan also votes warehouse, so I think she's probably just counting the votes like we are.
Yeah. Her vote matters.
Her vote matters. We care about you, Megan.
Yeah.
I mean, if Megan said switch maps, we'd switch maps too,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Megan's really in charge of this whole
She is.
operation.
Yeah.
We should actually do a shout out real quick to Wonder and Megan, who have been running things in the chat, and
Yep.
also Alex Judd, who's been helping us a ton on the Microsoft side. He's basically the person we talk to be on the Xbox channels.
And let's thank Microsoft for buying our studio and making all of this possible.
Yeah, seriously. Yes. I can't imagine us continuing to support the game for as long as we had if we didn't have Microsoft's backing for this entire thing. So lots of thank yous to go around.
Thanks to everybody. We love you all.
And normally we would have Joe Swarner helping out in the chat as well, but because this is the release date, Joe is our customer advocate. His job is to listen to all of your complaints, and so that's what he's doing right now. Anybody who's got any kind of technical issues. Oh, and we should point out, by the way, for if anybody has newly joined our stream and hasn't seen this yet, if you bought the game originally from the Windows Store and you've been playing it for a while and now you want to get the Juggernaut update, because of some technical shenanigans that Jürgen can explain that I can't explain, you have to actually get a completely brand new, fresh install of the game. So you have to uninstall the game you've already got and then download it again from the Windows Store, and you have to clear your Windows Store cache, which is a thing people don't usually do, and it's complicated.
You
so
may
we've
have
got
to do
instructions.
follow the instructions in the order. Because you may
Right
have
down
to clear your cache first.
Yeah, we updated the instructions in there as well. There was an issue with the store. We need to clear the cache because we did some crazy stuff.
Big changes.
Crazy big changes on the back end.
And a lot of it was to support the fact that we wanted the game to be mutually compatible across Steam, Epic, Xbox, PC, and just all the different places you can get this game. We wanted you all to be able to play together. And so that means we had to sort of change the way the game worked on the back end. And so that's why you have to download the extra thing and do all the stuff you got to do. Follow those instructions.
Yeah.
They're very well put together.
Yay for crossplay.
So I just want to take a second to recognize my character Vicky for being the biggest badass I've ever played with ever.
Let's see your character screen.
She's not a superhero.
She's a sculptor.
Wow.
She's getting there.
That's pretty cool.
But she's a sculptor of zombie dismembering mayhem.
You never. That's one of the themes that I love about State of Decay is that you never know who's going to be successful, who's going to be important. Like you look at the status of people today in our world, and that says nothing about what the world would be like if something really truly terrible happened. And you get to see people who maybe wouldn't have gotten the most respect in the modern world rise up and become really really important in the world of State of Decay.
Anybody take over.
Yes.
Now things are fine. Everything's fine. Judy. Oh, and then Judy runs right into another. Or Vicky runs right into another.
Vicky will not stop.
No.
Won't stop.
I love their name is Vicky because, of course, my boss's name is Vicky. And so all the things we're saying about Vicky are also true of my boss.
I want to watch her. She better go in and lay down. If everybody else gets in the beds before she does. There she goes. Oh, there's an open bed. Vicky's like, oh, thank God. I just need to lay down for a second. Oh, okay.
Just for a second.
Look at all these lazy bums. Hey, we just opened up a new base.
Did you show them the cool nook in the corner?
Oh, look at this.
It's my favorite spot.
Vicky really should have snuck in here.
Yeah.
Should have gone. This is my safe place, right in here. And I'll back out.
Look at all that toilet paper.
We're prepared.
We're prepared, yeah.
We're
So no Costco raids for us. We're okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all of you who live in parts of the world that still have toilet paper, I'm really excited for you. We usually stock up, so we had a nice supply. We didn't have to run to Costco. But yeah.
Don't waste your time on toilet paper, idiots. Sorry. Unless you don't have any toilet paper, then go buy some. But, ugh.
But yeah, so I appreciate, again, like all of the folks, I should thank, since we're coming down to the last 10 minutes, I should thank all of the guests that we had on here today. Because we had Leah, we had Kevin, we had Susan, we had Jürgen, we had Eric just now, and Erin, of course. Like all of these folks braved the quarantine because we're sitting here in Seattle, where we're all locked down. Nobody's going to their offices to work.
Nobody's going anywhere.
These folks all came into the office today in order to celebrate the release of Juggernaut with you folks, and so I'm really grateful to them. And they're not the only ones too. I mean, we had Lisa set up all of these beautiful decorations that you see behind Erin, and Erin and Susan contributed to a lot of this stuff too. And and she also brought us Lisa brought us donuts this morning, which was really helpful because I had almost no time to go out and eat.
I'm sure
I felt lame. The only thing I brought was whiskey.
You're providing a very valuable service to the team. And so there and we've got Anne out there who's our wonderful HR person who's been here supporting us. That's not her official title, and I forgot what it was.
Head of People and Culture.
Head of People and Culture. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's our head of People and Culture.
She still yells at me if I get out of line though, so that kind of makes her partly HR.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Unless that's one of the
Does
things
that
they
make
hired
me
her.
partly
Maybe she's
because I yell at you when you get out of line?
Yes.
All right.
Maybe she's HR from Person of Interest, which was an organization of corrupt police officers. Maybe not. Anyway.
That was... Did you catch that?
Yes,
I was
I'm
totally...
cultured.
Oh. Well. Excuse me.
So I'm gonna make myself disappear so I can type some things without looking like a weirdo.
Hello.
So in this 3 hours, I have been able to get to a new base, even after screwing around for a long time.
Normally I can get to a new base in like an hour.
You know what? You're better than me. Get over it.
When I'm not like screwing around.
Okay.
You know, like, because I play that similar to you. I'll like go in a ton of different directions.
Oh, is there something going on? Oh, you guys are fighting?
Why aren't you guys wearing your tiaras anymore? What happened?
They hurt my head.
Yeah.
Some of us have hair to stick those little combs into, but some of us just have scalp, and those people are me and Brant.
That's great.
Yeah, zombies don't. Not invited. Not invited to my new place.
Oh, hey guys. Hey guys. We have got a winner for this Xbox. Their name is unpronounceable. It's Nitsujistribor. Nitsujistribor. Something like that. Nitsujistrabor. Nitsujistrabor is how I'm deciding to pronounce their name. So congratulations, you person with this name that I can't say.
Yeah.
You get to have a weird Xbox that no one else in the world has except for like one other person.
Yeah.
You and
one
some
other
other person are Xbox buddies who have got special Xboxes that nobody else has. And congratulations. I'm so jealous.
We're super jealous.
But it was more important for us to thank everyone out there who is watching the stream, who's been playing this game, for everything that you've done. Thank you so much. Looks like Susan might be joining us to say goodbye.
I am.
We still got 5 minutes left, but everyone, Susan, we're so glad that Susan's here.
Hi.
Susan just came in for the booze, probably, right? No. Oh no, she came in to take pictures of us.
I can't get a picture, but you know me. Boop.
Whoa. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm never gonna see again.
Yeah, it's an epilepsy warning for everybody in the audience.
Sorry. This Polaroid camera is
Okay, that
a lot
is-
more potent than you'd think.
That is
so-
hardcore and old school. Oh, and it's a
Absolutely.
rainbow
Rainbow
frame.
film. I know. For
Nice, I
special
love that.
occasion, I got the nice film on
My
the Polaroid.
daughter's got this same camera actually, and it's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi everybody again. Thanks. Woo.
My daughter is a giant hipster, and so she likes to have old-fashioned things.
Yeah.
It's great. So we've got 5 minutes left. I don't think we got time for another giveaway, so we're not going to do another giveaway, but we're just going to sit here and be happy that you all are here, and that this game that we've been working on, you know, this update that we've been working on for 9 months, it's finally out. And we can just all go to sleep. And no, we've all got our like work from home setups, even though we're all locked down. We're all working from home. And we're working on more stuff.
We are ready to respond to emergencies if that's the case.
Yeah,
Hopefully there are
we're
none.
gonna be watching your guys' feedback and everything very closely. So if some weird issue pops up in the wild that we weren't able to see in-house with all of our testing that we've been doing for months, then we can jump on it. So
We've got
we'll
some
be around.
super cool stuff in the hopper too.
Yeah, we do.
And
We got
so
some
obviously
really
when
cool
we
stuff.
say that, we mean cool stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
you guys remember when we kept saying we had cool stuff, and you're like, "Oh, they're going to give us his outfits and new
Outfits
weapons."
and reskins.
And we were really making a new map and a new whole everything and heavy weapons and all this stuff. We're still making cool stuff, okay?
I promise you we'll give
stick
you
around.
outfits and reskins.
We will also give you more outfits. We were gonna, you know what? This is my pledge. We're gonna keep making new outfits for
Yeah.
you, whether you like it or not. But we're also gonna do more stuff. So there you go.
We're just like doing a range of stuff because there's lots of different types of developers at the studio. We can move them into different size teams to focus on different features, and they can do a smaller feature, a smaller thing while we have bigger stuff going, and it gives people a breather. So we'll always be giving you different sized updates because of that.
Okay, so Erin, I know there is something that you have been wanting to do that Brant and I've been resisting because we were afraid that we would have to clean it up afterwards. But as the stream is ending, we just crossed 20,000 concurrent users.
Oh my god!
Fire it up.
So right now, right after release, when most people don't even know this game exists yet, that are our potential audience, and there's just a lot of people out there who haven't had a chance. On the other side of the world, this is now newly available in like Russia and China.
Yeah,
and
we're
folks
really
are still
excited for all the new players and.
they're still getting up in the morning, but we've got 20,000 people playing the game. So maybe it is time for a party popper. What do you say?
Yes, we got all these party poppers.
Cover your eyes.
I don't know how it's gonna be.
I don't know
I'm
how these
nervous
things work.
too.
I don't know how it
Don't point
works.
at anybody.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I'm not from the 1940s. I don't know how these work.
Oh, it was mild. Should I do another?
Oh no! I mean, so you are now covered in glitter, which is great.
covered in glitter.
You should. Somebody just made a glitter prank for you. Did it go in your mouth?
This is the best possible thing that could happen.
Absolutely. Because now, if you just put your hands on the glitter, you can walk out and not leave a mess here at all.
All right, I'm gonna be a bad person, and we're gonna do too.
I
so
think.
this
Wait a
is
minute.
just
Let's read the instructions because
Did we
I
do
think
it wrong?
maybe
It
we
says-
did that wrong.
Rotate.
Yeah.
That's all it says.
Rotates all the.
Does
the
it
only
say
thing
peel the top off? Because that was one of the problems.
Is that a
We'll
thing?
figure this out.
We'll
No,
figure it
just
out.
says-
We've
it
only
just
got
says
2
do it.
minutes left, so we got to figure it out fast.
Do you want to do this one?
I'm going to read the instructions.
I read them.
Do not dismantle party popper before use. Okay.
Good. So Aaron did follow that instruction.
All right.
Here we go. Ready? Wait. I gotta. Wait. I gotta go into you guys' camera.
Don't look at it.
Beautiful. We just.
You know what you
ruined-
did? You rotated the wrong way. You unscrewed it.
So,
hey, Kevin, we didn't do anything in here. We're just going to leave it.
Nope, didn't mess it up at all.
So I am particularly proud of us for destroying YouTube's compression algorithm by covering the screen in glitter, which is apparently the last thing you ever want to do. But whatever, this is great. I think we've got 1 minute left, so let's say goodbye. Erin Anderson, thank you for coming in here. You and all the other guests that came before you.
Yep.
Any
Thank
last
you,
things you
guys.
want to say to our community?
I just want to say that I'm very, very excited to be a part of this game and this studio, and this has been a very, very rewarding part of my career. I love the people here. I hope you guys are really happy with this update, because it kind of feels like giving birth. Like, this is our child. Like, we really hope that you have fun playing it, and that everybody out there stays safe with all the crazy stuff going on, and that if you're at home, stuck at home like a lot of you are, why not play with some zombies?
That's right.
Any last words, Brant?
Yes, of course. You guys have heard it before. Those of you who are new to us, let me say it again. We wouldn't be here as a company without the support of the fans. You guys talk to each other. Word of mouth has sold more copies than everything.
4 o'clock.
Thank you, son. Hold on. Do you want to come say goodbye to everybody? Come here. Come around. My son's going to say goodbye too. But we couldn't do this without you. We couldn't have done this without you guys sticking with us and hanging out. And I get to feed this kid because you guys have been so great to us. Do you want to say goodbye?
Bye. Sweet.
Um,
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Were you not done?
No, just that we love you.
We do
You
love
know
you.
it.
We love all of you, and we're so glad that you're here. Thank you so much. We're going to be back on our channels with our normal stream on Monday. We're going to keep this going for as long as we can. So thank you so much, and goodbye.
Have fun playing.
Bye, everybody.
Maybe this is the time we don't do an awkward sign off.
I don't think we know how not to
I
do
don't
an
think we
awkward
have.
sign
either.
off.
I got glitter in my
I
drink.
dare you to drink.
I got glitter in my
drink the
drink.
drink.
Pound
Yeah.
that drink. With, don't do
There's
it. Don't
so
do it.
much in it.
You don't want to pass that.
Well, let's end it there.